Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I can't believe we're already into the final show of the day. It's absolutely flown over today. Middle of the week, last show, beautiful beginnings. If you've missed any of the shows today, do go back and rewatch them. Sarah was in the crafting whirlwind, sapped all my energy. So I'm very pleased for a nice sort of more laid back, beautiful beginnings where we're going to be taking time to look at some beautiful demos and also asking, or indeed answering all of your questions. You know this show is famous for Essentials Corner, so if you've got any crafty questions you'd like to ask, then please do. It can be about anything on the show. Maybe you're stuck with a particular crafty conundrum, whatever it might be, feel free to throw those questions in. And if we get the questions and it is relating to something that perhaps Lily's doing, of course we'll ask at that point. But if it's just like a general question, then we'll do it in Essentials Corner. And please, please, please ask any question you wish. There is no such thing as a silly question, so please just ask away. And the earlier you get those questions in, we've got Superstar Susie on the socials tonight, so she'll compile all of the questions. We'll do them in the order that they came through, so get the question in nice and early so we can guarantee that we can give you an answer. And loads coming up tonight on the show. We've had the launch of our Flora and Fauna Collection. The showstopper is, well, on its last legs, really. How many? There are 40 showstoppers left. We had hundreds of these at the start of the day, so I'm going to have to be quick on that, and we'll come to that a little bit later on for you. We've also got beautiful edibles on the show as well, and we are going to start off in a few moments with our outline stamp and dies. And as you can see, I'm all geared up here because during Beautiful Beginnings, we try now to have a Ben's Beautiful Beginning. So far, they have all been quite beautiful. We've had no Ben's disastrous endings yet. So today might be the day, who knows? But thankfully I'm here with one of the very best to hold my hand and lead me all through it. What she let herself in for. It is the lovely Lily Fletcher. How are you, Lily?
Do you know what? I'm all right. I feel a little bit nervous, you know. I feel like I might be leading you astray in the craft world. Who knows what's going to happen? We're going to get inky, we're going to be doing colouring, we're going to be doing all sorts. So we'll be doing a little bit of teaching Ben crafting to start off the show, but lots more besides coming up throughout the course of this show. I'm super excited for Essentials Corner because I think, if I remember rightly, me and you did the very first, original and the best Essentials Corner many, many moons ago. We started a trend and here we are, we've got a full circle. So I'm looking forward to have a little sit down. I have to say it's going to be a fabulous show. I hope you can stay tuned for the full 2 hours.
And as we said, Lily, I know you'll be happy to answer any question, won't you? And please, I know you'll reiterate this, even if you think, oh, it's a really stupid question, we want people to ask the questions tonight, don't we?
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, this is a beginner's show. So maybe you've never done card making before, perhaps you are new to some of the techniques we're going to share. No question is a silly question. Make sure you get those questions in, because right here, right now, is the place to get those answered.
You've got the 2 originals in for the feature, so you may as well make the most of it.
Original and the best.
Exactly right. We need to try and beat the record. I think it's something about 20, I think, maybe like that, 20.
Blimey, it's like quick fire. It didn't used to be like that back in the day. It was a nice sit down, nice chill out, pipe and slippers out. But now it's like questions left, right and centre. Don't know if I can cope. It's been a long day already.
Yeah, and you only get 20 seconds to answer them as well, Lily. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh my gosh.
No.
It's like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, fastest fingers first. Quite scared.
We've got Superstar Susie on the socials tonight as well, so any questions, she will send them our way. Trudy says, hello from Florida. Hi, Trudy.
Hello.
Karen Hogue says, hello, all you lovely crafty peeps, watching from Richmond, British Columbia in Canada. Nana Kim joins us from North Carolina. Lois says, good afternoon, everyone from Ohio. It's live at 5. It is, Lois. Jen's in Maryland. Stephanie is in, saying hello again. Ben and Lily from Farmingdale, New Jersey.
Hello.
Cheryl M says, hi Ben, I've just been with Sarah here for some more inspiration. Oh yes, she was doing her little class in there, wasn't she, for a few of you. Clem Barker says, hello everyone, I haven't watched for such a long time, but I've just watched Sarah demo the Springtime collection and she has re-inspired me to check in with CTV. Well, Clem, welcome back. Thank you. Hilary is in saying, hello everyone from Hilary and Holly Collie. Hello, Woof. Hello, Sensational Sky. Good evening. And hello to PB Brewer Martin, who says, hi, lovely Lily and handsome Ben.
Oh, thank you. Get that added to our job title underneath, a little description there. Lovely Lily and handsome Ben. Exactly
right. Put that on my LinkedIn profile tonight. We're going to start off with the outline stamp and die collection for you here. Now, this is brilliant, a brilliant collection, actually, where you are going to be getting the starter kit. I don't know if I've got the starter kit here, have I? I've got the full complete collection in front of me. So I'll show you that first. And then I believe, going to be creating a project with this, which we'll see in just a few moments' time. But these are absolutely stunning. Launched them just a little while back now, actually. These beautiful animals, all sorts of different animals, from you know, the woodland to the sky to the trees, wherever you want to go. You've got all these beautiful animals. £26.40 or £32.80 in each set. You get the die, and then you're going to get a sentiment to go with as well. So your first one is called the Wilderness Voyager. That is, of course, the wolf. A lot of people said they were going to use that as like a die for their dog, potentially, like a collie or an Alsatian.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a wolf like that.
Yeah, it just depends what colours you use, I suppose, really, doesn't it? Wishing you a wild birthday. We've got the fox in there as well. I love the sentiment on that. Happy birthday, Foxy. Then you've got the owl die. So this one actually is called Woodland Explorer. Have a hoot on your birthday. Then you've got the stag. Always super popular, Lily, aren't they, the stags?
Yeah, I love that. Of course, it could be Christmassy if you want it to be, autumnal or all year round.
So that one is Let's Go Wild. And then lastly is your, I want to say this one's called Paradise Array, I think it's called. But it's
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, encyclopedic knowledge right there.
Does stick in there eventually. And that one is Fly High on your birthday. So you're going to get all of those within that collection. There is a starter kit which we'll show you on, in fact, we'll show you now. Here you go. You get your Prairie Visitor, which is the big cat. You've got the all-purpose card in there. You're also going to get your Water Reactive Lemon Tonic, Frosty Jade, and your Crushed Velvet. And you also get your blending tool in there as well. So that's a great way if you are brand new and you just want to try out this die. Brilliant, actually. £20 or $28. And actually, with this kit, you can kind of begin to recreate what we are going to do now. It's a different die to what we're going to be using, but a great way to get started with this particular kit, that one, Lily, isn't it?
Absolutely. You'd almost think I'd planned it.
Yeah.
Almost. Anyway, we're going to get Ben crafting for this first demo. So we're going to be crafting along at the same time. I've got exactly the same pack as he's got, so there's no cheating, no head starts, none of that. But we're going to start off by doing our die cutting. So we'll start off by bringing in our Wilderness Voyager.
Remember, this isn't a competition, Lily. You're helping me, remember?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I've just said. We've got exactly the same. There's no head start. I've been getting berated in my ear here. I've been told that I'm trying to jinx things. I'm not. I'm teaching. It's going to be very kind, very calm. Ben's had a day already. He's had Sarah all day. He's had
exactly. I need calm.
He needs calm, and that's exactly what we're going to bring as part of this demo. So, die set. So within your stamp and die set, you get that beautiful die that you can see there, which is your Wilderness Voyager. It could be a wolf. It could be a dog. And Ben is taking this really quite seriously. He's putting his
You're going to put yours on?
I haven't got one.
There is one that side.
I can't see it. Can't see it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's not that messy.
No.
So we'll start off by doing a little bit of die cutting. So in your pack, if I have prepared them fairly, which I'm sure I have, you should find a little scrap of black card and a little scrap of some of our alcohol marker card.
Okay.
Difference between our alcohol marker card and your white card, it tends to actually be a slight bit more off-white, the alcohol marker card, and you can feel that it's got a really nice smooth surface, which is going to take our alcohol ink perfectly. So we'll start off with our black card.
Yeah.
All you're going to do, super easy. I'm sure even you can manage this.
I'd have you know,
I'm heckling you already.
I've gone from level of non-crafter to I'm definitely beginner crafter now. Did you see my colouring the other day?
I did. I was very impressed with your colouring. I have to say it was absolutely fantastic with your illustrators. We're going to try tri-blends this time though, so we'll see how you get on with those. So use your black cards, that little scrap there. We're just going to die cut that. So I'm using the Gemini 2. Ben's got his little Gemini Mini. I'm making him work, get a bit of work out there, whereas I'm using the very easy Gemini 2. They will fit through any of your machines, these size of dies. So you've got lots of options for your minis, your middies, your juniors, your full size, even up to your pro if you want.
Yeah.
So we've got our die cut from our black card, and then we'll just ease that out the die. So we'll just pop out all the pieces. And then once we've done our black cardstock, that will be our drop shadow, and then we'll move on to our alcohol marker card. You know I'm like Ben for a drop shadow. Just about everything has to have a drop shadow.
I feel like all of you guys are doing that now on the majority of your projects, using a lot more black card than I've ever seen you do. But it does add a real pop, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Especially if you're using bright colours, it really does make them look a little bit more dramatic, a lot more vivid. So your black marks and lays, your black drop shadows, they do make a real difference to your project. So I'm just going around, just thinking, did I give you a pokey tool?
I grabbed one.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I was worried then. Thought I'd managed to give you everything, forgot the pokey tool.
That's all right. You've sorted me out. Don't worry about that.
I have tried. I've not tried to make this a competition.
I'll tell you what, though. It's so satisfying, isn't it, weeding out a dye?
It is, yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Well, we'll put you to work if you enjoy it so much. Next time I'm doing boards, I'll give you a shout. Ben, clean out this dye. There we go. So clean all that out, and we'll just empty that into the bin. And then we'll just go back in with our alcohol marker card and do exactly the same thing.
Okay.
You can use your regular white card, but you are going to get best results by using your alcohol marker card, just because we are going to be using alcohol pens in our tri-blend, so it will give you that smoothest blend. If you're using a water-based medium, your watercolour card will be absolutely perfect. So it just depends on how you're going to colour these as to what sort of cardstock you're going to cut them with. So straight through our die cutting machine. I always use a little bit of my low-tack tape just to make sure that's held into position. I think we do actually have a bundle on the shop today. We do, good memory there.
Low-tack tape, there's a couple of those in the bundle.
There you go. So if you need to stock up, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
And then we'll just do exactly the same with this one, and we'll just ease that out of the die. Now, do you prefer using a pokey tool, or do you like the die brush tool?
Well, I prefer the pokey tool, simply for the fact I enjoy I enjoy the process so much of getting all the little bits out, and I feel like if you're using the die brush tool, all the bits come out at once and it's not as much fun.
Ah, there you go.
What do you prefer?
I prefer pokey tool, I have to say. Yeah,
do you?
I do, yeah.
I mean, I think if it was like a mahoosive, like really big, intricate die, maybe I would probably use a die brush tool to save time, but
that's
something like this is quite nice.
Quite nice and therapeutic. Or we could do a Debbie Fisher and just throw them about all over the shop and hope that the pieces fall out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't recommend that, do we?
We don't. But it works for Debbie. She's done it for years, so
yeah,
if it's good enough for her. But I have to say, I'm not one for clattering the dies about.
No.
Use your pokey tool. A little bit of quiet time, just poking your pieces out.
To be honest, I could just put this back in the packet now, couldn't I? Because I'm not using it again.
That is true, but then someone would have to put them out. I have to say,
share alike, right?
This die that I'm using here is actually mine from home, so I do want to make sure.
Oh, is it?
It is, yeah.
So it's good housekeeping, isn't it?
Absolutely, good housekeeping. The problem is if you don't poke all your pieces out, when you come to die cut it again, what will happen is you won't get as crisp a cut because you've got cardstock already in that die, so it can't bite through the card as well as it does when it's clean. So it is good practice to clean out your dies.
Do you keep the cardstock? Do you keep that? For like
you could do.
Stencils and
you
stuff?
Could do like a mask, couldn't you?
Yeah.
That would look good, yeah. One for another project, so absolutely you could be saving that and use it in a future project. But that's all our die cutting done for the card.
Okay.
And then we're going to move on to our colouring. So
okay.
I've just got a piece of scrap paper here just to protect my surface, and it's going to give us a nice surface to colour onto when we're using an alcohol pen. So we've got our alcohol marker card there, and we've given you slightly different colours, Ben, to what I've got for this one.
Can I get a bit of scrap paper?
Oh, bit of scrap paper. Go on then. Forgotten another thing. Oh dear. I'm setting you up to fail here, aren't I? There you go. Piece of black cardstock. Just makes it nice and easy to see underneath exactly where you're colouring. So we've got our black cardstock underneath. Ben's got his muted brown blend, and I've got my earth brown blend and earth brown extend. Now these are tri-blend brush pens. So if I take the lid off one of these, you can see that you've got that lovely brush nib on there. Ben is quite experienced with his brush nibs, as we know from last week's Colour Me Happy with his illustrators. Same sort of idea with these, with it having that lovely brush nib, so it allows you to get that sort of painterly sort of effect. So we're actually going to recreate something quite similar to what we can see on the packaging. So what we're going to have is we're going to have our lightest colour around his nose, around his mouth, and it's going to get darker as we move down to the bottom. So we'll start off with our lightest colour tone. It's prized and ready over there, which for me is EB1, I think is MB1 for you, Ben. Or RB1.
RB1.
And we're just going to start on those areas where it's going to be lightest, and we're just going to lay down some of that colour. Now we don't need to be really precise because this is just that base coat of where it's going to be lightest, so we're just going to blend all over his nose there. You can go in small circles if you find that easy. It's going to give you a really nice smooth lay down of colour if you're going in small circles like that. But just to lay down your colour, I tend to have my pen at quite an angle here, just allows us to get that colour down a bit more quickly and into a broader area. And then we'll lay down our colour like that, and then we'll move up to our next colour tone, so the next darkest one. So for you, Ben, that will be your mid-tone. Yeah. And what we want to make sure we're doing is we're overlapping that area where we've already coloured. So we don't want to colour just up to that line. We want to make sure we've got a little bit of an overlap between that lightest colour tone and the colour tone that we're now using. That's going to give us a nice smooth blend transition between that lightest and that next colour up. And then we're just going to start to move down this image. You can see because we've got that wet ink already onto our cardstock, it's going to give us a really nice smooth blend between the two colours there. Now if you find that that blend is not smooth enough and you feel like you've got a bit of a join between those two colours, just shift back down to your lightest colour tone there, and you're just going to go over that blend where you've got that area where we're transitioning between the two different colour tones. You're just going to blend over there, and that's going to give you a smoother blend over that area. So if we just go over that lightest colour tone area, and as that alcohol evaporates, it will get a little bit lighter and that blend will get smoother. How are you getting on, Crafter, over there?
Yeah, I'm just having a laugh at the chit chat I'm getting in my ear actually.
Oh, chit chat? Do we call it abuse?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily
Heckling?
abuse. Just they got mixed up with like the basically my nails and your nails apparently.
Well, they do look very alike, don't they? I have to say, we have got very similar hands.
It's my luscious locks. I heard producer Johnny getting a little bit jealous about the fact that I've got more hair than him.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Johnny. I think you've got a similar amount of hair.
Would you?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Yeah, you could grow your hair, Johnny, though. You choose to like shave yours off, don't you? So, you know.
He's just said that because of us lot, that's why he loses his
It
hair.
falls out.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. All the grief that we give him, eh? Oh dear. Anyway, right, as we're starting to move down, this is where the brush pen really starts to come into its own. So it's going to sort of flick upwards. So you're going to start to get that texture of the fur onto our image. Of course, you could use your regular tri-blends, but because we want to get that fur-like texture, by using the brush, it allows you to get that lovely flicking motion onto your cardstock. So just continue to colour. I always work from light to dark, so I pop my lightest colour tones down first, and then I start to work up those colours until I get to those darkest areas. And don't forget, if you have got an area where it's not as smoothly blended as you want, just shift back down to the next colour down and just to start to blend where you've got that join between the two. It's looking good, Ben. I'm liking it. It's looking good.
I just had to poke out a little bit of...
Oh, you missed a bit of the waste pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, tut, tut, tut.
I know.
Slap
There's always one little bit in there.
There is, absolutely, yeah. Oh, there he is. Look at him
away.
go. It's looking good.
Get in there.
You've used tri-blends before, haven't you? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was it was like Illustrators the other day.
It was. I mean, they're quite similar, aren't they, in terms of having the brush nib?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of similar, but it is a lot easier when you're using your tri-blend brush. It's easier because obviously you've got the same colour family in the one pen.
Yeah.
And I've just given you the one pen, whereas I've got the blend and the extend. So if you do want to colour a larger area and you want more of those colour tones, when you've got your same colour family with your extend and your blend, it allows you to get more shades within that one colour family.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I couldn't find two of the same pen, so we've got what we've got.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and we'll get a slightly different effect, which is all part of the fun, isn't it, at the end of the day?
And also what I would say, like, and this is me sort of talking as a bit of a beginner still, if you just get these back right and you decide that you don't want to try blending and stuff, you can just use these as pens on their own, as silly as that sounds.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely, yeah, you certainly can. But it just makes it so easy to blend. But if you're not confident, you are thinking of getting these dyes and you're not sure whether you're going to be into your colouring or you're not sure if you're going to always have time to sit and colour all these animals, you cut that into just some of your brown cardstock or your craft cardstock. Maybe even just blend a little bit of your ink, like your water reactive inks along that left-hand side, and it's still going to look fabulous just because you've got that beautiful detail within the artwork. And it's the same sort of idea just from your black. If I bring in a piece of white cardstock and then just pop that behind your black there, you can see how striking it looks just as a silhouette. So don't think you've always got to colour them so they look something like on the packaging. You can of course just use your single colour of cardstock to give you a really striking effect. But that's how it looks when you've coloured using your tri-blends. And I use my earth brown blend and my earth brown X blend. Ben's going on well as far as I can say. Should we have a little look? There we go.
Yeah.
It's looking good, I like it. Just the finishing touches to go now.
Oh, you finished yours?
I finished mine, yeah. I have to say I'm quite a quick colourer though, Ben.
You what?
I'm quite a quick colourer, yeah. I have to say I have had a lot of practice. I do love my colouring.
Yeah.
But yours is still looking fabulous.
Yeah,
At
I'm
the end
quite
of the
happy
day,
with
it's not who colours the fastest, is it?
No, it isn't. I'm going to colour that in a bit more there. I think as well, like, as I say, it's just have fun with it. I feel like people panic, Lily, too much with colouring, and it shouldn't be a panic situation. It should be a fun a fun thing to do, shouldn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you've just picked that pen up there. You might have used tri-blends before, but probably a long time ago. And you know, you're not someone who colours day in, day out, but you can see there, Ben's getting fabulous results just by using one pen with one die cut. It looks fabulous. It is a very easy technique. Once you're used to bringing those pens in, it's going to look absolutely fabulous. That's why I love tri-blends. Makes it super easy.
Yeah.
Are you done?
I think so, that'll do.
You think so?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Ah, yeah, there we go. Now, you've guessed it already. All we need to do is just take our black die cut. I'm going to take the one we've just coloured and we're going to drop shadow our black underneath our coloured. Now, this is the age-old question. When it comes to your lower layer, what positioning do you place it in?
Yeah, we had this earlier,
To the left,
actually.
to the right? What did Sarah say? I'd be interested to know, or she just...
I think
Any
because we were in
old-
the middle of the demo, it was pretty much practice makes perfect was kind of the line that we got.
Okay, so for me, I have to say, I'm a little bit of a creature of habit. So I always put the lower layer, that layer underneath the top one, slightly down and slightly towards the left of that top layer.
Okay.
That's just personal preference. It does not matter at all. The only thing I would say is if you're doing several drop shadows on a project, have them all in the same direction. So if you put the top layer slightly towards the left on one die cut, make sure you're doing that on all of them. Otherwise, it's going to look a little bit disjointed, I suppose.
And obviously, you've given me dotty tape pen here.
I have, yes.
What glue are you using there?
I am using tacky glue in the fine tip glue applicator. I find this super easy to work with, but if you are a little bit more afraid, I suppose, of using your wet glues and you're worried about adding too much and it's splurging out, your tape pens are perfect, especially your dotty tape pen, because it's going to give you exactly the right amount of adhesive, not too much, not too little, and it's going to be nice and quick and easy to apply to your delicate die cuts. So I thought we'd show a couple of different ways of doing your intricate gluing. Me using your fine tip glue applicator with your tacky glue, and Ben's using his dotty tape pen. There we go.
Gold
Top
star
shadow.
for Lily, says Zoe, for cleaning out her die and not throwing it about.
I have to say, Zoe, I'm terrible. I do usually do that. And some people have noticed it before, and I do apologise. But this time, we were good. If I'm teaching Ben, I've got to do the right thing, right?
But that's it, you know, but if you're doing it all from beginners, you know, you need to know how you're supposed to do it. You can pick up the bad habits later.
True.
Annie's joined us, Stephen's joined us, Goddess is with us, Sensational Sky. Hi also to Tara, who says, hey, Lily and Ben, I'm loving being reminded about the basics. Hugs from Del Rio in Texas. Even experienced crafters need a bit of a reminder, Lily, sometimes, don't they? So this is perfect. Morning again, Mary Pat. And Stephanie says, I'm so happy to see these dies on. The launches came so fast. I haven't had a chance to use them and always could use a review. So thank you. You can obviously watch this one back and do this one. So drop shadowed.
Drop shadowed. So next stage is to do our background. So in your pack, you should find a piece of watercolour cardstock.
Yes.
We know it's watercolour because it's got a slight texture to it. It feels very different to our alcohol mark
Looks a bit
card.
dimply, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit dimply, a little bit like the skin of an orange.
Yes.
There you go. So we've got our watercolour cardstock there. Now all we're going to do is going to take our piece. Oh, I've got a sticky mat once again. It's filthy. Oh dear. So we're going to take our die cut that we've just done here. We're going to decide roughly where we want it. Bearing in mind, if we bring in our sentiment, I'm planning on having my sentiment towards the bottom left. Totally up to you on your composition, Ben. It's your card.
Yep.
I'm just giving you the bits to create with. And then you'll also find this slightly scratty looking circle here. This is actually being cut from some of our masket sheet.
Okay.
So I just took a circle nesting die and I've cut that. That's going to be our moon. So deciding where we want our pieces, I think I'm going to have the moon slightly behind our little wolf there, so it's like he's howling at the moon. And then just position that where you want, then you can move away your sentiment and your die cut, and then just smooth that down so that's stuck down onto our piece of cardstock. Right, and then we're going to bring in our water reactive ink. We've chosen our own colours. Ben has chosen Oasis.
Yep.
Of course, I've got Midnight. Any sort of sky sort of colour. You've got your crushed velvet and your frosty jade even in your starter kit, which will work nicely with this as well. And all we're going to do is we'll take our blending tool.
Yeah.
We've both got the square/rectangle here, but the circle will work a treat, or your blending sponges, or even your blending brushes as well. And all we're going to do is going to start by blending off our mat to start with, going in circular motions, picking up some of that ink and starting to blend that onto our cardstock. Now it's up to you if you want to apply a lot of ink or you just want it to be a subtle sort of blush of colour. That choice is entirely yours. But just making sure we're going around in circular motions. Try not to catch the edge of that masket sheet because it's not quite as sticky as it was when I first die cut it. It's lost a little bit of its tack in
Do you
in
just,
transit.
obviously watching you sort of do this, is it wise to sort of do that running off the edge of the mat onto the card?
I have to say, Ben, I find that a lot easier. When you've got a surface underneath which is sort of slippery, so like a glass mat, or if you've got a craft sheet, or I know some companies do like blending mats which are sort of smooth and slippery. By blending off something that's really smooth, it allows your tool to glide a lot better. So rather than starting on a sort of a dry not rough, but not sort of a super smooth surface like you got with your glass mat. It makes it a little bit more difficult, and sometimes that tool can drag. So by starting off on your glass mat, it just allows you to get a really nice smooth blend onto your cardstock. We're just using one colour here, but you could be using different colours. I'll tell you what would do it nicely for this actually, your colour bloom ink pads, they would work lovely.
Oh yeah.
They're for something like this to give you those sort of different colour tones. But just going around, it doesn't need to be really, really smooth. We're not looking for a perfect, smooth, even blend with this. We're just laying down that colour and building up that colour until we're happy with how much we've got on there. And I think I'm just about happy with how that's looking now. Now, before I proceed any further, I'm going to quickly grab a wipe just to wipe off my mat. Oh, Ben, you weren't here the other week. I had a bit of terrible inky disaster.
You had a what disaster?
I had inky disaster.
Oh.
So I was making something, what was it with? I can't remember what ink, it was with a certain ink pad. It was the ombre ink pads. And I'd done some inking, I'd left it on my mat and I didn't wipe it up, and then I popped my mat and layer face down into it. Jamie in my ear saying it didn't look bad.
He says the nicest things, doesn't he?
He does, yes.
Hey.
He's humouring me here. But clean off your mat. With it being water active, super easy to clean off, whether you've got a wet wipe or just a damp cloth. It's going to clean off nice and easy. And once we've done that, what we're going to do is going to take our mask here and we're just going to peel that back, and that's going to reveal our moon onto our cardstock panel.
Hey, look at that!
Looks good, doesn't it?
Boom!
Easy. Right, final stage that we need to do for this. Looking good, I like it. Looking good, different colours.
I've left mine a little bit atmospheric because I thought I'd leave a bit of white space around where the moon was to kind of get like that moon shadow.
Bit of a halo.
Love it. Yeah.
Final stage for this one is grab your fine spray mister bottle.
Oh, yes.
And we're just going to do a little bit light mist onto the background. So it could be raining, it could be snowing like it was here this morning.
Where am I going from here? How far?
Anywhere. So the closer you go,
Yep.
the larger the droplet's going to be. The further away, the finer a mist it's going to be. So it's up to you. If you want larger drops, then have like a handful of water and just splat it on like that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go for a fairly fine spray.
Decisions. Just a fine spray, maybe.
So many choices, and we're just going to go over there. You can start to see already where it's sort of faux bleaching onto our cardstock. That's going to give us a lovely texture onto our background. Leave that a few seconds. The longer you leave it, the I say, wow. Oh, it's like poetry in motion. Oh, isn't that lovely? And I was just there spraying like left, right and centre, and he was there all theatrical. That's a thespian in you over there, isn't it? Anyway,
like
while we've been chatting, let's just allow that ink to sort of soak up into the water. And then the final stage is just grab a piece of kitchen towel, and we're just going to blot off all of that wetness onto our cardstock. And you can see there you get that lovely faux bleachy sort of effect. So they're quite large droplets onto there. Obviously, it's going to look different depending on the size of your droplets.
And you can always re-wet, right, if you want to go in again and just...
Absolutely, keep re-wetting as much as you so please. But of course, if your background, if you've used a lot of ink and a dark ink like I have, it's going to be more noticeable. It's going to have more of a contrast between the water drops and that ink. If you use quite a pale colour, I know Ben's is a little bit paler than mine, you're not going to get so much as a contrast. It can be a little bit more subtle. But choices as ever, totally up to you as to what sort of effect you prefer. Now, once we've done that, once we've been a nice all dry, we have got a little matten layer of our black cardstock, which should be about 1/8 of an inch larger. So you can see it's a really thin little border there. Like we were saying earlier about our little pops of black makes a huge difference to your cards. Never be afraid of black cardstock. It's not sort of harsh or dark or gloomy. It really just makes those bright colours sing a little bit more. So we've got our tape pen onto the back of there. Always doing a lovely job of cleaning up over there.
Following you, Lily, see?
Yeah, well, a good teacher, there we are. I'm trying to make sure that I'm in good habits today. It's usually a case of do as I say, not as I do. But today we've got to foster those good habits early on. So some of our tape pen onto the back of there. Tape pen is lovely for a nice quick matten layer. I have to say at home I tend to use an all-purpose glue. Gives you that little bit of wiggle room, but just for speed, and it's still going to give us a really strong bond. I'm going to use my tape pen. And then we've got a card base that we've cut down to, let's have a little measure of this. It's about 5 1/4 by 6 3/4. Just some of our white cardstock, so it's exactly that same white cardstock that we had in that starter bundle. So if you're going for that one, you've got your A4 white card that allows you to create your own card bases. Or of course, if you've got ready-made card bases, you can use those as well. And then some more of our tape pen is just going to go onto the back of there. Oh, a lovely flick, look at that. Oof. It's a joy to watch, isn't it? A joy to watch. We'll be given a full-time job next thing you know.
Oh, no, you look out.
I know. I'm worried. Watch me back at this, right?
Ooh.
And we'll just pop that into the centre of our card base. Nice wide white border around the edge of there. Then just a few finishing touches. So we'll bring in our sentiment. You do actually get the sentiment stamp as part of the collection there. So you've got wishing you a wild birthday. And then of course we've got our element that we've coloured already. So before we start to stick anything down, I like to sort of manoeuvre things about. What was it, auditioning your ideas?
Commit before the stick.
That's it, commit before you stick, there you go. I was going to have the sentiment on the left-hand side like the packaging, but I think I actually prefer it on the right.
Yeah.
So we'll go for that. I haven't given you any foam pads, have I?
No.
You'll have to have a flat card. Do you want some foam pads?
Go on, I'll have one.
Oh, go on,
Or
he's on his
two.
way. I'm teaching him well, you can't make a card without foam pads.
That's it.
I'm a foam pad
Thank
addict.
you.
You're welcome. And then we're just going to...
What are you just doing? Are you just raising up the...
I think I'm going to go for the sentiment, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
A few of
do.
those on the back. There we go.
Couple of those
so
will do.
either your foam tape or your foam pads onto the back of your sentiment. We'll just lift it from the background. So we'll pop that onto there and then just peel the backing off. How are you with peeling the backing of your foam pads without not having long nails?
I think I'm all right.
You're all right.
Just
good,
sort of...
Good.
Oh, you see, now I've said that.
Oh, you've jinxed it.
It's not something I've ever questioned before, but no, it's come off fine. It's fine.
Few. Right. So I've got my sentiment onto their bottom right-hand corner. Very simple card, this one, but I have to say, Ben, I'm quite pleased with how this has turned out.
We like simple on Beautiful Beginnings, though.
Yeah, that's what it's
we
all
like.
about. We're going to keep it nice and simple, go back to basics. Whether you're a beginner or just want a quick card, this is going to be the perfect one for that.
Yeah.
Love the sentiments in this collection, I have to say, Ben. I feel like you could have had a hand in writing them.
But do you know what? Funny you should say that. I nearly said that when I was showing you through the board, saying, like, you know, that, what is it, have a hoot on your birthday?
Yeah. I do think whoever's written them has definitely taken inspiration from some of your jokes.
I do. Let's just say that.
Yeah, perhaps they sit there watching the shows, making notes and storing them away in a little book for future use. Who knows? Possibly.
I reckon it's probably what's happening. Few comments. Hi, Ben, Lily and crew, says Wendy.
Hello.
Karen says, hi, Lily and Ben. I just got back from the dentist. I can't speak as both my top and bottom gums are numb.
Oh, gosh.
And Sensational Sky says, why has Ben got an apron on? Lol. Because I'm crafting. Because I'm crafting.
Of course, whenever you do any crafting, you have to wear a lovely apron like that one. Apologies, I've not got mine on today, but yeah, we won't be doing that. Anyway, I'm finished. Are you finished?
Finished.
Let's have a look.
Right,
let's have a look at mine first, shall we? And then we'll have a look at Ben's. There we go. Little wolf onto there, bit of a inky background, bit of colouring. Come on, want to see yours? That's good, that.
That's all right. I love the fact that
really
we've got like completely different sort of colorations with them as well.
They're
really
just a little
brilliant.
different. So we had exactly the same elements in our pack. Slightly different colours, different pens, different inks, slightly different composition. You've done well.
Thank you very much. Well, good teacher, you see.
Well, I know. I'll take all the credit if I have to.
But I think that you know, in all seriousness, again, really simple to do, but really effective. Like minimalism sometimes works more than all singing or dancing, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think when you've got a really striking die like one, it's a very powerful sort of die. It's got a lot of presence. I think simple cards work an absolute treat. That doesn't look so much like a simple card, but you've seen there start to finish. I just cut down a few of those matte and layers beforehand, but pretty much start to finish, it's super easy to create. I've had fun. I hope you have.
I absolutely have. I love crafting. I want to do some. I want to do some more. Thank you.
Next week. Next week we'll let you.
Next week, yeah.
Next week. Once a week.
Hello from Indiana, Barbara. Hi, Ben and Lily, says Karen. And Tim says, I just had a delivery of the Sheena bundle today. I cannot wait to have a play. Keep the questions coming through, please. Anything you want to ask. I'll check with Susie in the break just now, see how many questions we've got. Anything you want to ask. Anything that you've seen on the show. Anything that you're stuck with. Anything you want to know about pens, glues, ink pads, cardstock, papers. Please ask away, and we'll do those questions very, very shortly indeed. Still to come, though, Flora and Fauna, and we're also going to have a look at some corner edgeables in just a mo, and we'll meet you back here in about 4 minutes' time.
This is Kathy Green from Mechanicsburg. I just wanted to stop in and say that I love all your innovative products, and the demonstrators are like amazing with all their inspiration. And of course there's Ben, who's multi-talented and loves Mechanicsburg. So thank you, CC, for all you do.
A few weeks ago on the show, we were talking about places where all you guys lived. Well, we might have used Google Earth just to have a bit of a sneaky look at the village, town, or city that you lived in. And I thought it might be quite funny if I wrote a little ditty and I put on my Facebook page, where do y'all live? And I'll 50 towns and cities and village into my little song. But I didn't realize that there would be about 425 responses. So I'm gonna cram as many places into this song as I can, but I won't get them all in. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. We craft in Lydney, Lynbrook, Launceston, Lehana, Tampa, Darlington, Almond Beach, Sedalia, Wills Point, Widnes, Wildwood, Wildham, Archer, Jackwell Lake, Walkerburn, Yate, Bay, Hesperia, Sublimity, Pinhole, Avon, Freeport, Mapleton, San Jose, Enumclaw, Great Bend, Detroit, Keniston. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Parachute, Paradise, Pollux, Pool, Papillion, Sheets of Bay, St. Petersburg, Seacon, Sutton, Saturn, Bristol, Brighton, Brooklyn, Blackwood, Barnsley, Tide, Squeeze, South Shields, Temple Hills, and Bentley, Tampa, Pillar, Tucumcari, Cary, Ottawa, Hull, Harrisburg, Lexington, Tupelo, Cincinnati, Austinburg. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Loxahatchee, Lakesville, Lawrence, Lacey, Livermore, Albuquerque, Weeki-Wachee, Pensacola, Ellsworth, Port, Mechanicsburg, Williamsburg, Rebella, Houston, Burlington, Wet Wang, Market, Drayton, Yale, Medford, Wellington, Wapakoneta, Homer, Sassa, Santa Rosa, Wichita, Honolulu, Riverdale, Melbourne, Commerce, Fintana. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Newton Abbey, Richmond, Dudley, Georgetown, East Kilbride, Eugene, Ferrum, Brownwood, Walkerstown, Newarheim, Fort Wayne, Gloucester, Chester, Long Beach, Raphael, St. Dominic's and Cloud, St. Augustine Beach, Sand Springs, Romford, Tulsa, Traverse City, Wesley Chapel, Ballarat, Medina, Ramble City. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. Crafting Sawbrook, Tucson, Kissimmee, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Biloxi, Lafayette, Elmira, Glendale, Scottsdale, Anchorage, and Hurtville, Seattle, Gold Canyon, Ipswich, Cumberland, Unionville, Toledo, Miami, Atlanta, Cleveland, Gold Canyon, Altoona, Calounda, Port Orange, Glover, Rising Sun. We craft everywhere, man. We craft everywhere. From over here to there, man. We craft everywhere. In crafters we've got our share, man. We craft everywhere. And there's a few more places I didn't manage to get into the song. West Runton, Newcastle, Kingswood, Sandbach, Carlisle, Bewley, Albury, Durham, Springfield, Ashington. We crafted Greenville, Lincoln, Nebraska, Sumter, Oak Park, Winchester, Knapp Stoke-on-Trent, Mount Pocono, Greenville, Charlotte, Oxon Hill, Tunbridge Wells, Modesto, Haverhill, Sierra Vista, Arecibo, Morgantown, O'Fallon, Aurora, Black Forest. We crafted Hermiston, Brownsburg, Henderson, Socorro, Fort Myers, Mandenholm, Hilliard, Farmingdale, East Moline, Summers Point, Calgary, Charleston, Salisbury, Malden, Galloway, Fitchburg, Hopewell, Aberdeen, Winstead, Castlewood, Chatsworth, Limestone, Victoria, Willoughby, Rockland, Canton, Falmouth, Conestoga, Lyndhurst, Ashbourne, and Cluj-Napoca. Oh yeah.
Thank you, Lois, for your lovely message just come through there. This should make a lovely mail card. Thank you, Lily and Ben. Clean and simple is always good in my world, says Laurie. Wendy says, oh, I love this song. And Hilary says, I was making Holly's toy dance to the song and she went mental. Lol. I do that sometimes with Molly Collie as well. Potentially new song coming soon. Won't say too much, but you know Leanne was asking me to do one for her. I finished it.
So Leanne's got a song. Do I have a song?
Well, I'm working my way through.
And I'm probably bottom of the list.
No. You're next in line, Lily.
Oh, I should hope so too.
And then I'm going to push the one I was going to do for Debbie further down the list. The one for producer Johnny, that'll go right to the bottom.
Yeah. Put Johnny right at the bottom, yeah.
Right down to the What, you just said what you're going to do for that one? Bat out of hell. Oh dear. But anyway, that's exciting, isn't it? Right, we are going to have a look at the corner edibles that we've got on the show. 4-piece selection. Brilliant price on these as well. You're going to get all 4 of these beautiful dies. Should be £40 pretty much. $52. £15.98 is the platinum price here, or $20.72 if you're in the US and you're a platinum member. So the 4 designs you're going to get: the beautiful Into the Woods, which is that stunning tree. You've got, I think, one of the most beautiful edgeables, corner edgeable or not, one of the most beautiful edgeable dies we've ever done, which is that beautiful, elegant peacock. Also in this set is the stunning, delightful peonies, and then you have got this, which I know was, talking to Debbie, I think one of her favourite dies from a while back, Off to the Ball. So all 4 of those at an exceptional price this evening on Beautiful Beginnings, $15.98 or $20.72, and we're going to have a look at a demo with these with Lily.
These dies are absolutely gorgeous, and in my opinion they're a little bit like a cross between an edgeable and a create card, because they really do create a statement on the front of your card. And we're going to work with this beautiful die set, which is our lovely hearts. So we've got our die here, and if we bring in the die itself, when we have a look at the raised surface, which is almost like the cutting blade, which is going to do the cutting as it moves through the die cutting machine, you can see along that top edge there and that left hand side, that's going to cut out of your cardstock, but all of that right hand side is going to stay within your cardstock, which gives us that edgeable style effect where we can cut that on the edge of our card base. Now we're going to create quite a small, cute little card for this particular project. We've taken our card base, which is about 5.5 inches by 4 inches in size, left fold card base that we use in here. We're just going to open this out, just like so. I'm going to grab our die. We're going to position this onto that top right-hand side of the card. So I'll take that die, pop it face down. You can see we've got those extensions there on the right-hand side and the top. That's like the end of that cutting blade, if you like. It's that where that cut line along the top and along the right hand side finishes on your card base. Just take that into position. So I've grabbed a piece of low tack tape here. We'll pop one piece onto that top side there. I just flip this around, so I'm going to tape this to the mat ever so slightly as well, just because I want to make sure that I'm taping onto the waist rather than the piece of cardstock that's going to form part of my card base. I want to tape onto the waist just in case it rips as it moves through the die cutting machine. So I'll tape a little piece onto that top section there, and then another piece onto that opposite edge, and that should be nicely positioned onto my card and nicely anchored into place, and we'll just run that through our die cutting machine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pause this. As soon as I can hear that pitch change and I can hear that it's die cut, I'm just going to pause it, and then I'm just going to reverse it back out, and that's going to allow us to make sure that as that passes through our die cutting machine, we're just cutting the bit that we need to rather than cutting all the way through, because it's just on that top edge of our card base. So that's moving through our die cutting machine like so. And then if we turn this over and peel back the die, you can see there we've got that lovely die cut edge with all of those beautiful hearts. The detail is gorgeous, isn't it? Nothing from stopping you as well from taking that die once again and positioning it onto that bottom left hand side if you want to create a panel rather than creating a corner edgeable. Of course you can do that and create your very own panel as a topper rather than into a concept style card. So we'll grab our pokey tool and we'll just pop out all these pieces here. So going over all the pieces on the reverse.
And whether you use these on this project or not, I'm guessing you keep all of these hearts, don't you?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. We will be doing something with, not these hearts, but we'll be cutting some more, and we're going to be doing a little bit of paper piecing in just a few minutes, because this is a fabulous die for paper piecing. You've got nice large spaces, it's not super fiddly, it's not really time consuming, and it's a great one to paper piece, which is what we'll do in just a few moments time. So we'll save these to one side for another project. They're great as a shaker, great as embellishments, great as confetti, lots of uses for those. And we're just going to fast forward and bring in one that we've done already. So exactly the same process there with our die cutting. The only difference is here we've taken a piece of acetate. You can barely see it there, just catch the glare. There you go. We've got a piece of acetate which is the same size of our card base, so we're ready to get paper piecing, because obviously otherwise without our acetate behind we've got nowhere to piece those pieces into, if that makes sense. So there we go, we've got our card base, and then we've got a piece of our lovely pastel Centura Pearl cardstock. This is that lovely pinky colour, our fresh pink. We've got it cut to about the same size as the die. Bring our die into position. Just tape that down onto your cardstock, and that's going to run through our die cutting machine to give us all the elements that we're going to paper piece back into our card base. Now the great thing about paper piecing a design like this, you don't need to cover the whole piece with all those extra pieces. You don't have to piece every single heart back in. A little bit of selective paper piecing, which is exactly what we're going to do now, works an absolute treat and just gives you an extra little pop of colour and a bit of interest to your card.
It's such a lovely tip, that, isn't it? Because again, for newbies, you might think, oh yeah, I have to paper piece every single bit. It's like we were talking earlier on with embossing folders. As a newbie, you might think, well, I have to always use the whole size of the embossing folder, but you can just emboss a smaller piece of cardstock in a bigger embossing folder.
Absolutely, yeah. It just gives you more versatility, doesn't it? It gives you lots of different options in terms of what you want your project to be. If you've not got as much time to create with, then it's going to be great to do a little bit of selective paper piecing rather than piecing in that full design. So what I tend to do when I'm paper piecing, I tend to put my adhesive into the piece that I'm piecing into rather than on the pieces that are going in themselves, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Did in my mind at least. But anyway, glue onto the card base rather than onto these actual pieces. I just find that a little bit easier, but of course, whatever works best for you.
And is there a method here to decide which ones you piece back in and which ones you don't, or is it just
honesty, at
rough?
this point, not quite at this point. We'll see as we go along. I'm going to piece some of the larger ones back in, but I don't sort of want a cluster of paper pieces. I want it to be sort of spread out a little bit more amongst the design. So I'll start with a few, and then I'll see whether I want to add more and see how we go as we move along. So that's a few onto there. I think we'll take that end one there, just so we've got a little gap between that one and the next one. We'll leave that one as it is, and we'll bring in this next one here to the top corner.
Janice says, how has Lily secured the acetate to the hearts?
Good question. So all I've done is I've taken a couple of different adhesives actually. So I've got red liner tape, I think you can slightly see that there, along that edge onto where we've got the solid piece. And then for those detail elements, I've just used my tacky glue, my fine tip glue applicator, but your dotted tape pen as well. If you want to use your dotted tape pen onto the detailed area, that will work a treat as well. Just remember with your tacky glue, obviously with acetate being a non-porous surface, it does take a little bit longer for it to dry onto there. So just think to bear in mind, but as long as you leave it long enough, it will dry sufficiently. Go in with that little one there, and you can be using different colours of cardstock. You could be doing selective paper piecing in different colours, or you could fill the design out but using different colours for the different hearts. Lots of different options as to how you want to build this card together. I think finally we'll just add another little one to that bottom section there, just to balance that out a little bit better. And of course, especially with these little tiny pieces, if you want to be using your little sticky picky uppy tool, or wax tool as we call it, that will work a treat to help you get all those smaller elements paper pieced back into the design. Now I'm just going to give that a little bit of a burnish from the reverse, just to make sure that glue is nicely adhered onto our acetate. And then you can see there we've got all of our elements, well, some of our elements paper pieced into that background there. Then just to finish this off, it is quite a simple card that we're doing here, but we just want to show how easy it is to make these dies look absolutely gorgeous onto your concept style designs. So I've got some of our pattern paper here. This is from one of our Valentine's paper pads. Just going to pop some of our tape onto the back of there, and then that's going to be matte and layered onto some of that same pink that we used for our paper piecing. So everything should be matching together quite nicely. So we'll just line that up. It's about 1/8 of an inch that we've got all around the edge there. So a nice thin matte and layer just to add that little pop of pink onto that edge there. And that's going to go onto the inside of our card base. So bringing in our tape pen. Could be using your double-sided tape if you prefer that, or if you like your wet glues, like your all-purpose, that will work a treat for your matting and layering onto your surfaces as well. So we'll just pop that onto the inside to make sure that's nicely lined up on the inside of our card base. And then we've got a matching mat and layer that's going to go onto the front, so it's exactly the same mats and layers in terms of the same paper and the same pink card, and that's just going to nestle onto that left hand side there, just cutting that on a diagonal so it matches the curve of the left hand side of the die. So we're just going with our tape pen onto there, and that will just sit nicely onto that bottom left hand corner just to fill out some of that white space. Then I've got a sentiment that I've used onto some of my heart nesting dies. So I've die cut my heart nesting die in white, and then I've matte and layered it onto some of that pink. Sentiment that I'm using here is from our verse compendium. If you've got that at home, of course you could be using any sentiment stamp that you've got in your crafty stash, or even a sentiment die if you prefer. Just adding some of our gems to that as well, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And that's just going to go onto that left hand side. And then just to finish it off, I do still have a few hearts spare that I've not used for my paper piecing, so I'm going to grab a couple of these hearts and they'll just finish it off nicely to sort of scatter over our card. So we'll take one of the larger ones, a little bit of tacky glue onto the reverse of there, and we'll just place that onto our card base. And then we'll take another one just to balance it along that bottom edge there. And that's going to finish off a very simple, very quick and easy card design. Just goes to show that your paper piecing doesn't always have to be difficult, doesn't have to be time consuming. You can just add in a few of those areas to give that little pop of colour. But these dies are absolutely fantastic for all those techniques, all those paper piecing, those colouring techniques. It's going to look absolutely fabulous, and that's why I love our corner edgeables.
Brilliant. Again, do you know what? It's two fantastic demos for the show that we're in. Beautiful beginnings. cards which, you know, are relatively simple for you to be able to follow and recreate, but that do really have that stunning look to them, very professional. You know, nothing simple about the final look to them, but, you know, nice and easy to follow, to put together. If you want to be able to recreate that project, you can do. Obviously, within the set, you're going to get these 4 dies, absolutely beautiful. Off to the ball, you've got the beautiful, delightful peonies, you've got the stunning peacock, and of course, you've got the tree in there as well, the Into the Woods. $15.98 or $20.72 is the price on your corner edgeables. The die would look good embossed instead of cut through as well, says Karen Hughes. Absolutely.
Certainly would.
And I think, you know, a lot of the dies in that collection, like the peacock, for example, beautiful, you know, again, acetate on the back, coloured in, maybe use some of your illusion film, whatever you wish. Quick deal before we have another quick break for you to get your carts and your baskets checked out. The Gemini Mini is back. You saw me using that in that that first demonstration with Lily. Our manual machines are absolutely brilliant, aren't they? You're going to get the power, you're going to get the precision, and you're going to get the portability with these as well, and the ease of use. All folder based, of course. You've got your 6x3 folder inside the Mini, and look at it, super teeny tiny. Mini but mighty is our machine here, and you know what? It is super portable. You've got the suckers there on the bottom, so when you pop that in place, it's going to stay put. Whether you're left-handed or right-handed, it's just all about the handle on the side, the crank, if you like, that you're going to move around to get your die cut done or your embossing done. There's your folder. You get one folder with it where you're going to do all of your die cutting. You're going to pop your 3D embossing folder straight through, and you get a shim to do all of your 2D embossing. Of course, your cut and emboss folders will go through there as well. It's a brilliant price tonight because it's $23.99 or $39.99, and you'll get your free storage bag included as well. If you're just starting off in crafting and maybe you can't stretch to like a bigger machine, electronic machine, then the manuals are brilliant. But Lily, I think it's always good to have a manual alongside an electronic, because there are times, aren't there, when you don't need to engage the big machine, and you know, you just want to do a quick die cut. That's where the Mini and the Midi are perfect, right?
Absolutely. I mean, all of us are the same, whether it's myself, the Debbie's or Craig, we're all the same. We love our Gemini 2. It's our workhorse when it comes to our crafting, but your smaller manual machines, they are super quick and easy. If you want to do a little bit of floral die cutting, maybe you're doing your flower forming foam and you want to die cut your flowers, that machine is absolutely perfect. Quick and easy, no mess, no fuss, nice and easy to work with. Something like a sentiment die or just a little embellishment die cut. Perhaps you have to pack away your Gemini 2, perhaps you don't always have that out on your crafty desk. It's super easy just to grab your Gemini Mini out the box. You can get crafting straight away, but if you're a beginner, what a fantastic way to get started. And I can't believe, I've just had a little look at that platinum price. I can't believe you can get started with a die cutting machine for £24 or less than $40. That's absolutely outstanding value. That's going to be the first step on your die cutting journey, and believe you me, you'll be die cutting and well away straight after that. It's a fantastic machine. I can't believe that price.
And of course, you're going to get your storage bag for free as well, which is incredible. So you can pop your plates and your folders in there. You've got even more rooms in the little panel here for tools and whatnot. And look, shh, it's gone to sleep.
Oh, night-night, sleep well,
Night.
sleep tight.
There you go.
Felt like the bed bugs bite.
Easy for you to say.
Well, it wasn't, was it? Get me teeth in, Lily. Oh, it's late in the day, late in the day.
It is late in the day, but that's perfect, isn't it? Absolutely perfect. Bags free. I think the bag's worth $12.99 on its own. So you're getting that for free within the bundle. Nice. Do you know what? Easter's... Well, I say it's a long way away, isn't it? Easter will be here before you know it.
Certainly will.
Maybe you are thinking about getting something a little bit different for the kids or the grandkids this year, because you know they're going to get tons of eggs, they're going to get tons of chocolate. So if they perhaps love a bit of crafting as well, maybe they come, you know, over to your house as a, you know, grandma or grandpa and do crafting. How nice would it be for them to have their own machine to craft with? And this would be absolutely perfect. So think about it potentially as an Easter gift for the kids or the grandkids, or you know, if you are beginning your crafting journey, these are perfect. And if you've already got an electronic machine, to have a manual alongside that is brilliant.
Can I ask you, while you're here with this storage bag, can you do your little talking mouth? Go on. Go on. I'll indulge you. Go on. Oh, he's shy.
Hello. Good morning. I mean, good afternoon.
It's just because sometimes with the storage bag, I do little...
It does look like a mouth, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hello. $23.99, $39.99. Buy me now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do appreciate that.
I use the Mini and Mini more than I do my Gemini, says Winnabeth. I love them. The peacock in that last collection were lovely paper-pieced with the new ombre pads, says Hilary,
yeah.
the green and purple ones. And loads of love coming through for your projects as well. Beautiful card, Lily.
Thank you.
Very pretty, says Trudy.
Thank you.
Beautiful, says Wendy. Melanie D says beautiful card. Lovely card, as always, says Karen. And that card is just so beautiful, says Stephanie. Simple and sweet. Thank you, Lily. Right. We are going to have a short little break. If you want to get any questions in, please feel free. We are looking for a few more questions this evening for Essentials Corner. I believe we have a handful so far. Do you have one for us? Maybe you've got a question about the Mini or the MIDI. Maybe you've got a question about edgeables. Maybe you've got a question about pens, glues, whatever it might be. Fire those questions in, and we will be having a little sit down at a point to go through them all. And I know what always happens is, you know, we'll get to the Essentials Corner and we might have a few questions and then loads come in once we're sat down and then we never get around to answering them all. So get your question in now so we can guarantee that we're going to answer it, and we'll come back in a minute and have a look at the collection that everybody is talking about, the Flora and Fauna, our brand new launch today. Less than 40 of the showstoppers remaining. If you haven't yet got yours, I can guarantee you'll be picking it up in just a few moments when we show it you, and we've got a demo coming with Lily after this short break.
Crafters TV, my favourite part is the interaction we can have with the lovely presenters. You are all so down to earth and genuine people, always willing to share and help with your suggestions. As an unpaid carer, having had to give up my job, you provide me with many light moments in my day. Your products are great, made with great care and thought, and are second to none. Thank you.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty program today and receive 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits to joining Club Inspire include special members-only sales, and you can receive discounts or exclusive access to products, and even free gifts. You will receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro that you spend. And the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. See if you can craft your way up to our ultimate Club Inspire tier, Platinum, where you'll enjoy the very best discounts and rewards that we offer. As you keep climbing through the club, you can actually reach Platinum Plus and even Platinum for life. The more points you collect, the more you will be rewarded within our amazing special Club Inspire community. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Pokey tools and paper pads, gilding, wax and stamping mats, scissors, glitter, builder blocks, faux snow fabric, rocker blocks, Bria's misters, quilting clips, and die brush tools, precision snips, finger daubers, acetates, stencils, glue guns and templates, Gemini Pro, Julia and the OG, Gemini Go, Mini and the MIDI, tri-blend brush pens, aqua pens and aqua blends, illustrators, classics and tri-blends and color blends and glitter pens and sparkle pens, outliner pens. Fine tip glue, applicators, envelopers, creators, stamping platforms, boxer boards, the big score and scoreboard, Nina card and craft card, glitter card, matte black card, craft kits, wadding and adhesive sheets, glass mats, guillotines and pen trays, ball tool, dice and zinc trays, miter tools and binding tools and toe bags, USBs, bone folders and punches, low-tech tape pin brushes, stamens, mountboard, flower forming foam, outline markers, DVDs, felt quick Triton pads and CDs, gilding flakes and washi tape, tacky glue, red liner tape, craft asphalt press, sparkle pots, Centura pan and sticky dots, pigment ink pads, chunky glue, body bags, all-purpose glue, embossing folders, blending tools, storage folders, much more too. Water reactive ink pads, body bags, craft magnets, year of craft and glue, stick and spray and stick away, dotty tape and split pens, acrylic paint pens, tape pens, watercolor card, rotary cutters, magazines and stamping card, ultimate
macro and the rotating design board. Ultimate Buzz Compendium, Sarah Signature Collections, and don't forget Discovery Kits. Oh, and there's foam pads, think that's it. One final thing, foam on a roll. Foam on a roll.
What I love most about Crafters TV is the community.
Crafters TV brings everyone together from different corners of the world.
It also connects you with people from all over the world.
You guys have been there for me. I feel like you guys are my family.
I feel like I'm crafting along with my friends.
I met some of my best friends for life from Crafters TV, so thank you very much.
When you're having a tough time, you can switch on Crafters TV and you can go on the live chat, and you know people will be there for you as well.
And there's so much support, respect, and inspiration all through the socials.
It's a place where we can all share our love for Crafters Companion, ideas, and get inspiration from each other.
So what's not to love about Crafters TV? So go make a coffee and pull up a chair. Let's all get crafting. I'll see you all there.
Welcome back, everybody. Just before 6 o'clock, actually. Welcome to Beautiful Beginnings. Essentials Corner on the way. I'll check with Susie how many questions we've got, but we need more, please, for that particular section of the show. Any questions, craft-related? I mean, they can be random as well if you want. We're quite up for that. Thank you for the comments coming through as well. Hilary says, I bought the mini machine in birthday week, and I use it more than any other machine. It's surprising, isn't it, how often you use your manual machines. And Barbara R says, love my mini bag, but seldom use it as my mini is also in use, so I store the mini folders. We have 4 questions so far for Essentials Corner. That is not good enough.
Not enough. Come on, guys. We want more questions. Any questions, random as you like, get them in. We want the questions.
We want the questions.
The questions. All the questions.
Maybe there's a question you want to ask Lily about Lily.
Oh, my gosh. Could be anything. We've opened up the floor now. It could be anything you like.
So... You ask. Maybe you want to ask me a question. I don't mind, but preferably crafty questions. We're going to have a look at the Flora and Fauna Collection. This is today's brand new launch, brand new Sarah's Nature's Garden collection, I should say, and it is now officially limited stock. There's a greeny sort of colour on the screen, which means it's soon
won't be seen.
Won't be seen.
I'm sorry, I was just distracted by the fact that it's not green at all. I'm quite upset, actually.
Yeah.
Why is it blue?
It's sort of, I don't know what colour you'd call
turquoise.
that. Turquoisey, yeah.
Turquoisey teal, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not green. There's not green on the screen, so it might still soon be seen.
There's teal on the, yeah, anyway. It's going to sell out, basically. We've got low double figures of the showstopper remaining. I'll quickly whiz through all of this for you because you've seen it a lot today if you've been watching the shows, but what you will know is if you go for the showstopper, you get everything at a heavily discounted price. On launch day as well, which is crazy, really. I always liken it to, you know, when these phone companies bring out their new phones, they don't discount it on launch day, do they? They charge you full price, but we do. We discount our items on launch, and we give you your Club Inspire discount as well. So for Platinum members, £80 or $100. This is such a beautiful paper pad. One of my favourite floral papers I think I've ever seen, that one.
Isn't it gorgeous? I have to say, I love the fact that we've got like the full 12x12 wreath style designs. If you're doing a scrapbook page, pop your photo into the centre of that, maybe a little bit of wording, and you're good to go. It's gorgeous. You've got
loads of beautiful scenes in here, like wildflower scenes, and as you kind of dip and delve into these more and more, you'll see, of course, the ladybirds, or the ladybugs, which are in this collection. You'll see bumblebees, but you'll also see beautiful butterflies. There's loads of stunning dragonflies in here as well. And you've got the options again, Lily, haven't you? Because on the A side, you've got the beautiful illustration, and you've got it stripped back on the B side if you want to create a little bit more, I suppose.
Absolutely. I love that distress feel. It almost reminds me a little bit like peeling paint. Like you've got a little bit of wallpaper on the wall that's sort of peeling away. It's got a lovely vintage, shabby chic sort of effect to it. But that front side, my goodness me, they're bold, aren't they? Big, bold designs. If you've got your Nature's Garden wildflower that we brought to you a couple of years ago, perhaps you've still got the collection of the dies and the stamps, but you've run out of papers, this is going to work perfectly with that and so many other items. That could be working with your hydrangea collection, that one as well. Lots and lots of versatility just for the paper pad alone. You've got the 12x12, you've got the 6x6 as well, shrunken down. And what is so lovely is that you've got your linen cardstock. It's the only way now to get your linen cardstock is to go for the showstopper. And if I just randomly open a page, you'll see that all of the colours there
picked out perfectly to work with your Lily cardstock. And that's nice again, Lily, isn't it? You know, it kind of takes away the headache, because if we just gave you the paper pad and then you think, oh, I need some cardstock to match, we've made sure that the colours match perfectly for you.
They certainly do, and I have to say, I have a lot of coloured card in my stash, but if I needed to find that exact shade of red, I'd be rifling through all my shades of red. You'd never find exactly the right colour tone. By the fact that we've colour matched it all perfectly, you know it's going to work a treat. Ben's now playing his favourite game. Open the paper pad. Does it match? Of course it matches.
Trying to catch you out, but it can't do it.
Can't do it. They all match.
Yeah.
Gorgeous colours. That purple is absolutely stunning. And of course, that red is going to be perfect for your little ladybirds or ladybugs, and the yellow will be perfect for those little fluffy, bumbly, buzzy bees.
You're getting 24 sheets of linen cardstock, 6 colours. You're getting 4 sheets of each. 12 by 12 and your 6 by 6. There are around about 40, I think, left of the showstopper, and the showstopper bonus buy, by the way, is the 12 by 12 and the 6 by 6 at half price, but it must be in the same basket as your showstopper. Just to quickly show, I do these in order. I pick them up, make it a little bit different. Everything else you get in the collection, sentiments. All the sentiments are, of course, to do with the fact that we have got beautiful flora and fauna, and mainly concentrating on the fact that we've got ladybirds or ladybugs for the first time in a collection, which I think is so cute. So you've got things like sending you a ladybug hug. You've got appreciate life's little miracles, ladybug luck with ladybug love. Beautiful embossing folders in here as well, so you're getting 2 different embossing folders. That one is the Ladybug Love. I know I say this every time, but I love the fact we do the embossing folder boards now onto shiny cardstock, because it just shows them in their best light.
It does. I wonder whose idea that was.
I don't know, some genius.
Oh, yeah, they must have been a creative genius, but yeah, I have to agree. It does just show off that detail amazing. You would think that's a piece of sheet metal there.
Cool. Yeah, you would.
It's just some of your mirror card embosses an absolute treat. Shows off all that detail. It looks almost like it's been engraved or sculpted. It's gorgeous.
That's
Look
just
at
sweet
that,
flora.
Oh, isn't that stunning? I love the fact that you've got like the honeycomb in the background. You've got all those layers. Look at that coloured. Absolutely.
It's like levels of emboss there, isn't it?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And a few foil transfers on there as well. Just look at that. Incredible.
That detail, and again, that level of emboss with a little bit of colouring on top looks absolutely gorgeous. So those are your 2 embossing folders. Also in this collection, you have got your Fly High. So that's the Bumblebee stamp and die. And again, look how cute that looks on the papers with all the sentiments that you've got in there too. This, I think, is so super cute. So this one here is the little edgeable, the Lady Luck. How cute is this card? I absolutely love that.
So sweet. I have to say, I think it might be my favourite die in the whole collection. It's just so cute, and it's so much fun to paper piece with that one. That technique that we showed you with the corner edgeable, exactly same sort of idea with that die. It looks amazing, just so much fun.
Ladybugs obviously feature heavily in this collection as well. So you've got this one, which is the small things. You've got the beautiful leaf in there with the sort of veins on another die to go over the top, and then you can build up your own ladybug. I said earlier on, Lily, the way that this card has been popped together by our Marie reminds me a little bit of the handmade papers that we did. And I think that the ladybirds would look really nice on that, wouldn't they?
What a great idea. Yeah, so you can see there you've got an inky background, but replace that for your handmade papers.
Yeah.
And I tell you what you could do with a strip down the middle. If you've got any Hessian, like I've got some Hessian on a roll, that will look amazing down the centre. It'd be really sort of textured, really tactile. That'd be amazing. I fancy doing that now.
There you go.
Love the idea. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Look at me throwing ideas around. This next is just stunning. So this is the Flora and Fauna. So here you can build your bug. So you build your bee, build your ladybug. I love the fact that the spots on the ladybug's back are hearts.
So cute, isn't it? And I love the fact that that's a separate die, so that could be a piece of your shakers if you want. You don't always just have to use that. But look at that card, that's absolutely exquisite. So just showing how you can chop into that die, fold it over your card. Looks amazing there, just a little bit of a point of difference. Oh, is it stuck together?
There we go.
There you go. And the foil transfers onto your paper. I know we've not even looked at the foil transfers yet, but they are beautiful.
It's such a lovely, lovely collection, and a lot of people commenting earlier on about that, the Wreath die particularly, saying what an awesome die that is going to be to use again across multiple collections. And then, of course, you're going to get all of your fantastic foil transfers as well. Let's just show you this, because Sarah did a little bit earlier on with laying foil transfers down onto different surfaces and then colouring them in, and they just look brilliant. I feel like we've brought foil transfers back, because I feel, go back a couple of years, Certainly we didn't really do them, and now we feature them a lot, don't we?
Absolutely. We used to do them years and years and years ago. We even used to pop a lollipop stick in the packs. If anyone's still got any of those, I've still got a pack for many, many years ago, but I love the fact that we've brought them bang up to date. I mean, the detail in these is absolutely exquisite. We are including some of the gold foil in this pack, but if you're anything like me and you've got basically all the foil transfers we've done over the past few years, of course, you can mix and match the different colours. So if you've got like your blue from your Cosmic collection, if you've got that lovely blush colours that we did with the Floral Elegance, all of those different foils can work with these transfers, and sort of the other way around as well. All of these foils can work with your other transfers. So these are absolutely gorgeous. And take a good look at these boards, because this took an age to make, but I think it's important that we show all the designs.
Appreciate the boards,
appreciate
please,
the
people.
time.
Appreciate them.
Love the sentiments as well. You'll be using them with lots of things, not just this collection.
Fantastic collection, and you get all of that. So £80 or $100 is your platinum price on that. And don't forget, if you're one of the final few to pick up the showstopper, which is the only way now to get the linen cardstock, you can then add into your basket the bonus buy, which is the 12x12 and 6x6 once again, but for half the price that's advertised on the website. So you will pay just £8 or $11.20. So if you add that onto the cost of your showstopper, you're all in for £88. If you're in the US, it's $111.20, which leaves you just a little bit shy of that free shipping. What I would say for that is either add in more consumables or check out the spring sale section on the website. 372 lines to choose from to get you up towards that free shipping. Jen says, absolutely love the ladybugs. Of course, I had to get the showstopper and extra papers. Mary Pat says, pink and grey ladybugs on that handmade paper. Can't wait to get them, says Kathy. And trying to decide whether to come to the show or not, says Claire Greenwood. Oh, the show this weekend. If I do I ask the husband to come along, or will he do my head in? Might be better on my own, although I had to endure boring fishing shows with him. Payback. I'd bring the husband and get him to pull your trolley or carry your bags.
Yeah, the luggage man. He can be carrying all the stuff around. It's a good job for a husband. Yeah, carrying all the goodies that I'm sure you'll be purchasing. But if you don't go, I'll be here on Saturday, so you can join us live.
Hi Meredith. Says it's kind of teal on the screen, or it was, because it was such a deal. Hello everyone, says Karen. I just got home from running errands. When does the UK change their clocks forward? 2 weekends time. Last weekend in March, basically. 29th, I think it is, or 30th. The US did last weekend, and it's throwing my schedule off. You've got 2 more weeks of this. And Hilary says, I wasn't going to buy this, but the papers have just jumped into my basket and checked themselves out. We'll go to Lily for a demo. Johnny, I just want to ask, and it's a good question. So the linen cards that we can't get individually, is the foil transfer and linen card bundle still available? Sarah wants to know on the website. We will double check for you and have a look. It won't be. I'm here right here. Right, so it is available, but you can't get it on its own. So you can get the linen cardstock with the foil in a bundle or in the showstopper. Right, before there's any more confusion, Lily, shall we see your demo?
Yeah, but I've thought of, our green on the screen that obviously we can't do anymore. I've been thinking, there's teal on the screen, you need to be keen.
There you go.
Thank you. That's my contribution for the day over with. Right, now before I try and think of any more fantastic puns, that's my day's work done. We'll go on to a demo, and we're going to use this fantastic wreath style die set, our Flora and Fauna bugs, and you get tons within this die set. If we bring the actual dies in here, you can see that wreath itself is absolutely massive. Let's take that larger die, give it a measure on our glass mat so we can see roughly how large it is. It is about 5.5 by 6 inches in size. It is huge, and the wreath itself is actually separated into 2 component parts. You've got your outer die, which is great for a mat and layer, and then you get your inner die, which is your inner detail. But if you use this on its own, it will still cut the aperture in the middle, but it won't cut that border around the outside. So you can do something like you can see on the packaging there, where you can cut it into a panel, it could be into a box lid without that outer frame. But what we're going to do here is we're going to use both together with some of our black cards. So we've got our outer frame die and we've got our inner detail die. Really easy to line these two up, because you can see you've got that flat curve there on that die, and you've got exactly the same corresponding curve there. So you can see they just nestle together absolutely perfectly. No need to be sort of spinning the die around for hours on end, desperately trying to find the way to line them both up. And we're just going to tape those two together, making sure there's even space in between those two dies there, so that black border in between the dies is even all the way around.
Yep.
We'll tape one side using our low tack tape, and we'll do exactly the same on that right hand side, just to make sure that can't swivel around as it goes in the die cutting machine. Those two are joined together nicely, and then all we need to do is run that through our die cutting machine, and we'll cut that beautiful detailed wreath out. So we'll just feed that into our Gemini 2 and we'll be good to go.
Keep those questions coming through.
Please do.
Won't be long till we're sat, because otherwise we'll just sit on the sofa for half an hour.
We might have a little sleep at this rate. A little sleep, yeah. Be great TV, that. You guys would love to see us dozing off.
I think
Mouth
well,
wide
ask Susie
open.
if we've got any more. We did have 4 as of about 10 minutes ago. I'm sure you guys will come up trumps and ask some more
Yeah,
questions.
surely you guys
we've
have
got
got
10
questions.
now.
10!
Yay! Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
That's more like it.
Ask and you shall receive, eh?
Yay.
There we go. Thanks, guys. I mean, I don't know what you've asked. It could be anything.
Could be anything.
Could be anything, but
Yeah.
we've opened up the floor, so as we said, it could be anything, so you guys have delivered. Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
everybody.
it.
We knew we could count on you. We're the
Yeah.
originals, as Lily says.
We are.
You've got to give us the questions.
Absolutely, the original and the best.
If it wasn't for me and Lily, there would be no Essentials Corner.
Absolutely.
So make the most of it, yeah?
We are the essential staff members, you could say.
Yeah, yeah.
How long ago was that? I'm dreading to think how many years ago that would have been when we first did Essentials Corner.
I don't think it's as far back as you think.
Well, whenever we have these sorts of discussions, it's always longer than we think.
I would say it was about this time last year.
Oh no, I think it's a lot longer ago than that. Definitely longer ago.
Who knows? There you go. For our
I'm not sure how. I'm trying to
catalogue
think.
shows. When was the first Essentials Corner?
I'm trying to think how we could find out.
Someone will know.
Someone, surely somebody help us. Right, before we get feeling even more sad about the passing of time, we're going to crack on with this card. Honestly, it always happens with these shows, don't it? You start feeling quite worried about how quickly time passes. So we're going to grab some white cardstock that's cut ever so slightly larger than our die, and we're just going to grab our dotted tape pen, just because I want this to be dried instantly. So instead of using my tacky glue, which obviously takes a little while to actually dry, we're going to use our dotted tape pen. It's going to give us that lovely instant stick onto our white card. So we've got a piece of scrap paper underneath just to catch all of those extra little bits of glue. Of course, if you do that onto your glass mat, you'll end up with a mucky mat, which we never want. A great mucky mat. Which is not what we want, because we don't like sticky glass mats, because everything ends up sticking to it. So if you use a piece of scrap paper underneath, you'll be good to go. So plenty of that onto the reverse. Move away our sticky card, and we'll bring in our white card. We'll just position that. Doesn't matter where we pop it onto the centre, because we will be cutting it out afterwards. And that's just going to go round like so. And then we've got that onto our white cardstock. Now that could stay as a panel. You could have used that outer die, so if you just bring in that solid die on its own, you could use your outer die to die cut that first, or you can die cut it afterwards. That choice is yours, or it can be a full panel like that. It's up to you how you want to use this die. But what we're going to do is going to do a little bit of colouring. Now, because obviously this is a black die cut, it doesn't matter if we go over the lines, because you will not see it on your black die cut. So if we take one of our tri-blend brush pens, this one being our Alpine Green Blend, and we just focus on one leaf to start with, so focusing on that little leaf there. Starting off with our lightest colour tone, as you now know, Ben, now that you've become a tri-blend pro.
Well, let's take the pressure off a bit. I'll be a tri-blend intermediate, shall I?
Intermediate, that's good enough. It's better than a tri-blend beginner.
Yeah, I feel like I've moved up to the intermediate level, not quite a pro yet, but I hang out with you guys long enough, I'll get there.
Absolutely, a few more beautiful beginnings under your belt, and you'll be golden.
The thing is that, you know, the amount of shows that I've done here over the last 5 years.
Well, yeah, I dread to think.
If I hadn't picked up some crafting knowledge and some crafting skills, there'd be a bit of a worry there, really, wouldn't there?
Well, the worry would be that you weren't listening to a word we said, but wouldn't surprise me.
Hey, but, you know, other crafting channels out there, do you ever see any of the other presenters crafting along, doing colouring, making cards?
Very rarely.
Not very often.
I have seen it, but not as often as we do here.
Exactly, see, because I'm learning from the very best in the business.
Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah. Something like that, anyway. Something like that.
Kathy's just said, Ben, do we sell the foil sheets separately? Not for this particular collection, but I don't know if we do any of the foil rolls are still in stock, because if people have got the foil rolls, what other collections did they come with?
Oh my goodness, the Floral Elegance, there was some. There was some with Cosmic.
Was there some with the Enchanted Ocean as well, or was that Illusion Film?
Illusion Film, yeah.
Ooh,
where else? And we did some standalone. The one was called Shine Like a Star, and some was called something else, where there was one that was sort of more metallic and the other one was more coloured foils. Don't know if we've still got those in stock.
no foil rolls in stock.
Arabian Nights.
Arabian
There's been Arabian Nights, I'm
so
sure.
any of those collections that
any of those foils,
you can use.
Yeah, all of the foil transfers and all of the foils that's part of sort of that range, they're all interchangeable. So mix up those colours, mix up those transfers, and you can sort of start to cross-pollinate if you like.
Thank you to Mary Pat, who says, what a great die this would be for scrapbooking and also making a mini album. It's a good size for that, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those papers in a mini album would be absolutely ideal. Perfect use for them, because then, obviously, if you're making it a mini album for yourself, you sort of get to keep the papers in a way, which is always good. Because when you've got papers this gorgeous, it can be a little bit difficult sometimes to part with them. So a mini album or home decor, definitely the way to go with these.
Yeah, lots of love coming through for this collection. How many have we actually got left, Johnny, the showstopper?
Not enough. Get the abacus out.
Oh, dear.
32.
32.
As we know, there's teal on the screen, which means you need to be keen.
You do need to be very, very keen.
See, I'm doing you out of a job here. I'm writing all the gags, writing all the one-liners.
That's it.
You'll be doing the crafting, we'll be swapping,
Yeah,
swapping roles before you know it.
What do they call that? Job swap day?
Job swap day,
I wonder what day National Job Swap Day is.
Oh, there'll be a day
There must
for
be
that.
one.
We'll have to switch, won't we?
Switch round a bit.
Absolutely. Anyway, while we've been talking about all sorts of different topics, we've been carrying on colouring using our tri-blends. I find the brush is a lot easier for this sort of technique because you've got that really fine point and it can flex a lot more than your regular tri-blends. It allows you to get into all those nooks and crannies within the die cut. So all you do is you carry on colouring like you can see there. You can see it's really starting to come to life in those areas, really pops against that black cardstock. But we will just fast forward it a little bit, and all we've done with this one is we've used our outer die onto our white cardstock, so that's cut all around the edge. And then what I've done is I've just gone in by hand and just cut that inner piece by hand. So you can see it's a little bit of a mess on the reverse on that inner section where I've cut using a small pair of scissors. You can use a craft knife as well, or you can use it solid. If you want to use it in the form there with that solid white in the centre, you can stamp onto that or do any sort of decoration onto the centre. You can still leave that as a solid piece, but here we've cut that centre out, so we've got an aperture into the middle. So I'll leave that to one side and we'll bring in our card base. So we've got a piece of white cardstock here that is measuring about 6 inches by 6.5, and we've got some of these absolutely gorgeous papers matted and laid onto black cardstock and then onto a piece of that yellow linen card that's in the pack. And just using our 1/8 of an inch mats and layers onto there to give us that nice thin border of those lovely papers. The paper that I'm using here is from the 12 by 12 pad, so you can see get those lovely, really bold, large flowers and designs onto there. That's going to go into the centre of our white cardstock. Then I've got an additional little piece here that's about 3 inches in width, same height as that, but I've added on another half that's going to be a flap because it's going to fold around our card to give us sort of that double aspect to our card front. And we've got some matching mats and layers, so the same sort of paper for this mat and layer and the same mat, so it's all going to start to tie together nicely. So we'll bring in our tape pen just on the reverse of there, and then we can glue that to our front section with an 1/8 of an inch borders once again. So just matting and layering that onto there, and then we just join the two pieces together by popping some of our tape pen or red liner tape or your adhesive of choice onto that flap there. We'll just pop that, making sure we've got central sort of spacing on that left hand side and that right hand side. Once we're happy that we've got that nice and even, we just fold that flap over. That will stick to the reverse, give that a nice old burnish. And you can see there we've created our card base just like so.
Brilliant.
Just an easy way, instead of taking a card base and then cutting into it using your craft knife, I find it a lot easier to do it in your two separate pieces like we've done there. And then we'll just pop our wreath into the middle of our piece. So I'm going to turn that over and make sure that I'm just adding adhesive onto that centre section. I don't want to add it over the borders of that middle flap there, otherwise it's going to end up sticking the card flap, which is definitely not what we want. So we just pop some onto that centre section, just like so. We'll turn that back over and we'll line that up. Of course, you don't have to have it with that sort of area there at the top. It can be on the left hand side, the right hand side, could even be that way if you so choose. That is entirely up to you, but we'll just pop that into the middle. And I've taken some of the other elements from the collection. So I've got that lovely little bumblebee, our fly high. I've stamped that using some of our alcohol proof ink pads, and then I've coloured once again using our tri-blend brush pens. And we'll just give that a slight drop shadow. So I'll grab a piece of black cardstock, and we'll just pop that underneath. As we know, Ben is also now a pro and a big fan of the black drop shadows.
Yeah, I am. I feel like that's something else that I've mastered over
Master
the last...
of the drop shadow.
Yeah, because I used to be terrible at that, like, you know, all fingers and thumbs, but I don't know why. Just I suppose the more you do it, the easier it gets, isn't it? I always sort of drop it down to the left.
Drop it down.
Down and a bit to the left.
Yeah, me too. That's what I always do, but it doesn't matter at all. But yeah, it just takes a bit of practice. Once you've mastered it, you'll be away and you'll be adding drop shadows to absolutely everything, just like me. So we've got our little bumblebee there. We'll have him flying high over our wreath. We've got our little sentiment, fly high, dream big. That's going to go onto the bottom. I have got a little ladybird here, but I'm not sure whether we'll add it. We'll grab our little ladybird, slide him onto there. We could have him on the left hand side, we could have him there. Choices, eh? But I might do with that. I might just pop my sentiment onto that space that we've got there. But of course, with your wreath, lots of the different elements will fit in your wreath. So if you've got that lovely die set or small things with your leaf, that does nestle nicely into the centre of your wreath as well. So you've got choices, lots of different elements could go in the middle. It could be your ladybirds, your bumblebee, your sentiments. You've got lots of different options as to how to embellish that wreath. And then we'll just bring in our finished card there. You can see it freestanding, but you've got a little point of difference by having that cutaway section at the front of your card base.
That, I think, is probably one of my favourite demos of the day, actually. I absolutely love that.
Don't tell Sarah.
No, it's fine. Shh. Just on the point of this collection as well, Stephanie's just said, Lily, what would you do with the large wreath from the 12 by 12 pad? So that one on the back page there, I mean, would you just simply take that out as a whole and just craft around that, or?
Absolutely, I'd be using that for scrapbooking more than anything else. So I'd be taking that, I'd be popping perhaps a little photo in the centre, a little bit of journaling, but that as a basis for a scrapbook page would be amazing. Or if you're doing home decor, that can be your full piece of home decor. Maybe a little bit of glitter, a little bit of glossy highlights onto there, but it's beautiful as it is. You don't really need to do an awful lot to it.
So pretty, Lily, says Cindy Condit. I love the black frame on the white, then coloured. Absolutely stunning. Love the colours in the wreath, says Jen.
Thank you.
And woohoo, says Karen. I just received a CC package. I am a happy crafter. Just to say, we have only got 30 or so now of the showstopper remaining, so you need to be very, very quick on that. The hero tool tonight as well, proving very popular. 24 hours only for the hero tool. If you want this, it is the small guillotine. And I say small, but I like to go with the word portable. It's more portable than the big one because it's 8 3/4 by 6 1/4, so it's a big size. You've got obviously that sharpened stainless steel blade, self-sharpening, of course. The more you cut, the more you sharpen that one up. You've got the integrated scoreboard in there too, which is perfect. This is a handy size to travel with. So if you're planning on, you know, I don't know, going to the caravan or going to a friend's and you do want to do some crafting, it's a nice size to be able to take with you. And it's also got that integrated scoring technology with it. So you've got a scoreboard and a cutter in one, if you like. Brilliant price on that. The hero tool price, though, is only for 24 hours. So $24.99 or $39.99 becomes £15.99 platinum, or $25.59 if you're shopping in the US and you're a platinum member. A very, very nice guillotine to go for. We've also got tonight an Assorted Butterflies 5-piece collection. Basically, within this set, you have got your Butterfly Delights and your Delightful Butterflies. You pay for those two items within the collection, and then you get the other two for free. So you get your Cascading Butterflies Edgeable die for free. You also get your Delicate Butterflies. And then you've got your beautiful ribbons. That's some of our Violet Studio ribbon there. And then one of our tricolour brush pens as well. You get another die, actually, which you haven't got in the picture. It is £12.80 or $16.80 for that. You can find out more information, of course, about that on the website, where you can also find more information about our spring sale, which continues. 372 different lines for you there. Lots of love for Lily's last card. Love the card, Lily, says Karen. Beautiful card, says Sarah. And Mary Beth. Gorgeous, says Lois. Mary Pat says stunning. Wendy Graham says beautiful, Lily. We've got the Ultimate Pro on the show for you as well. And no, I'm not talking about me. Lol. We're talking about this. Well, it's basically everything you need as far as a craft room is concerned in one handy little carry case. It's a craft room on the go, basically, because what you've got in here is the ability to make your card bases, do all your scoring, do your cutting. You've got the ability to make ribbons here. You've got all the embossing that you would possibly want to have, all of the different kind of card sizes that you can make as well. And it's just absolutely incredible. I won't open this up. I'll let Lily show you around it. But with the deal with the Ultimate Pro is normally $39.99, $69.95. which is what you're going to be paying today. However, you are also going to get a load of freebies on top of that as well. It's, I think, it's £33 worth of extras that you're getting for free. So you're going to get your boxer board, which is going to go with this as well. So allowing you to create even more when it comes to different sizes and shapes of boxes. And actually the boxer board itself will fit really nicely into the Ultimate Pro itself. So that comes to you for free. We're also going to give you a selection of our A3 Centura Pearl Snow White cardstock. And again, within that bundle, you're getting 25 sheets. And we also give you one of our Dotty tape pens as well. So all of that is for free within the bundle when you go for the Ultimate Pro. I know so many of you have got the Pro. We've also got the Metric and Imperial versions as well. So Metric for the UK, Imperial for the US. Having said that, if you do tend to buy a lot of cardstock from us, the US viewers, you can go for the Metric version as well. I think some people in the US have the Metric and the Imperial, don't they? They have both of them.
Makes sense, absolutely.
It depends what you craft with the most. If you buy a lot of cardstock from us, go for the UK one, right?
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Now, this is an absolute workhorse. Now, I think this is probably one of the very first Crafters Companion products that I ever bought. And
Was it actually?
Yeah, I think it must have been, I'm trying to think, it's many, many years ago. We're going back, getting on for 15 years ago now, 10, 15 years ago, and I still use it day in, day out. This is an absolute workhorse in your crafty arsenal. I'm not going to go fully into all the details of it, but I will give you a little snapshot of why this is so fantastic. So as we move on to the front of our board here, all your different card shapes, whether you're doing your simple card folds, whether you're doing your gatefolds, your K cards, your pop out, all those sorts of amazing cards and gift boxes you can see all on the front there. Now if we open it up, and I always open this up the wrong way around, but there we go. You can see inside there you do get 2 of your scoring tools. You get your cutting mouse, your sort of element that forms your paper trimmer, full instruction booklets as well, and your little pegs, which is what allows you to create your bows using this system. Open it up further, you've got all of your decorative shapes, which can be for decorative embossing or for those pop-out or K-card style creations. We've got our box making technology, which is what we're about to use in a moment. This empty section here is where you're going to store all of your extra scoreboards. So if you've got your boxes, your envelope box creators, those can nestle nicely into there. And then finally, as we turn it over to the reverse, you've got more decorative embossing, and you've got your envelope box and envelope creator as well. Tons within here. Honestly, I could spend over an hour talking to you about this, but we're going to get straight in with some box making using our fantastic Ultimate Pro. So I've got 2 pieces of cardstock that I've cut to exactly the same size, and that size is, let's have a little look on our glass map. The size is 10 inches by 6.5. I always mark one of the lids so I know exactly which one I need to score on the lid side, and then the one that's not marked is going to be our base. So if we look on our Ultimate Pro, we can see there just about, it says a box lid. So for our box lid, this is going to the side that we score onto. The other side is our box base. We'll score our other piece onto there. So we've got our scoring tool here, and we're just going to butt up this piece of cardstock right up against that top section there, and we're going to score at that second line down. Every line is ½ an inch, so 2 lines down is going to give us an inch depth to our box lid. So we're just going to score over there. We're going to do exactly the same on all 4 sides. Like I always say, don't score really heavily to start with. Score a little bit more gentle and start to build up those score lines. I personally prefer the smallest scoring tool, which is the one that I'm using here, which has got your bone folder on the opposite end. But if you find the larger scoring tool easier to work with, or perhaps you're using a really thick material or acetate, you may prefer using those other heads.
And like you're showing, it's a case of just being a little bit light on the score, scoring a couple of times as opposed to doing like one really big heavy score, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah, just a nice gentle score line. Start to build up that score line as you move over that area, and that's going to give you the best result. It's going to be less likely to sort of rip or tear or buckle your cardstock. So then we move over to the other side, which is our box base, and we're going to do exactly the same thing again. Don't forget, we cut our 2 pieces of cardstock to exactly the same size, but all that box making technology is already built into the scoreboard, so you're not having to think about all those 1/16 of an inch or anything like that. It's all being done within the scoreboard. So we're just scoring once again at 2 lines down, so that's going to be an inch depth to our box base, going in with our scoring tool and just scoring over this area. It's so easy to make boxes. If you can make a card, by all means you can make a box. It's very, very simple. Once you know the method, you'll be away and be creating lots and lots of different boxes.
It's amazing the amount of people saying it was the first thing they got from Crafters Companion. Our Susie saying she bought it from HSN more than 10 years ago. And Lainey says, the first tool I ever bought was the Ultimate. I had a mad phase of making boxes of all sizes and scored all my own cards.
Absolutely,
Perfect for that.
It's a must-have. I mean, it's been around for donkey's years. It must be been around for over 15 years, but we're all still using it, so it's clearly a very, very valuable tool to have in your crafty stash. So we're going to move that out of the way. Love the fact that it all stores nice and compact, so once you've used it, you can literally fold it all away and pop it to one side when you move on to the next stage of your project. So next up, I'm just going to reinforce all those score lines. So as Sarah always says, score and burnish, score and burnish.
That's it.
So you can be using the burnishing tool to do that as well. You do get it included as part of the Ultimate Pro, as you do get your 2 different scoring tools. But we're just going around and reinforcing those score lines before we trim out the corners. So reinforce those, and then we'll bring in our pair of scissors. And all we're going to do in each of the 4 corners, going to trim up that score line to where the 4 score lines cross, and then we're just going to trim out a triangle. Just like so. So trim up to where they cross and then trim out a triangle. We're going to do that on all 4 corners, and all that does is it just removes a little bit of bulk. So when we start to fold this together and build our box lid and our box base, it's going to give us a much neater effect to those folded corners. So exactly the same on our box base, just trim up to that intersection and trim a triangle out. And it's totally up to you how much you trim away. Do just be mindful that you do need to pop your adhesive onto there, so don't trim away tons and tons of that tab. You do still need enough space to put your red liner tape or tape pen or whatever adhesive you're using. You do need space to add that onto there, so do make sure that you do bear that in mind, but just trim away. I tend to trim out a little right angle triangle, and then that gives you your box lid and your box base. Now for our box base, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some beautiful pattern paper, and this is actually from our Nature's Garden Flora and Fauna, and that's just going to go on the inside. I'm debating, I'm going to use the A side for the inside of our box, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll bring in our tape pen, and we'll apply our tape pen to the reverse of our pattern paper, and this is going to sit onto the inside of our box. So this is our box base, and this is just going to nestle into the inside of our box base, and that's our box base good to go. So we'll build this together by just popping some of our tape pen onto our 4 tabs. Red liner tape is ideal for box making. Your tacky glue is great as well, but do just bear in mind with your tacky glue, you will need to put something like your quilting clips or a paper clip or a peg onto the tabs just while it dries. So just for a nice quick and easy stick, using our tape pen is going to be ideal for that. We'll just go around and fold our tabs behind that box side, and just make sure you sort of reinforce those score lines.
Lovely that.
And give that that glue time to grab. And that's just our box base. That's going to be the inside of our box. So we'll bring back in our box lid, which is here, and we're going to take one of those beautiful dies from that collection of butterflies, which is our cascading butterflies, and we're going to pop that onto the centre of our box lid. So I'm just lining it up, so I've got sort of an even space in between that left hand side and the score line at the top and the bottom there. And because this area around the right hand side is actually going to be our waist, we're going to pop our tape onto that right hand side there. So a couple of pieces, top and bottom, and then all we need to do is just run that through our die cutting machine.
So all editable is very useful for making box lids, yeah?
Absolutely, yes. You can be using, of course, on your cards. We showed you with the corner editables, you can create your sort of concept style cards, but what we're going to do here is we're going to cut it into a box lid, and then we'll just trim away a bit of that, that area to create an aperture, which is why we've added our pattern paper to the inside of the box, because it will be an aperture style box. So all we need to do is just ease back our die cut from the dice. It's a super, super intricate die, so you need to take a little bit of care just to make sure that I don't tear that as it comes away from the waist, but just easing that out. And then we need to just take our tape off the card there. There we go. And then we've got all those pieces that we can pop out of our die, but that leaves us with that beautiful die cut design onto our box lid there. Now all we've gone ahead and done already, just to save a little bit of time, and this is where I use my paper trimmer the most. I absolutely love my paper trimmer for this method. Of course you can use a pair of scissors, of course you can use your craft knife, but just going in with your paper trimmer and just trimming out all that right hand section there to give us that aperture onto our box lid. Now, of course, it would not be a Lily creation, whether it's a box, whether it's a card, with a black drop shadow. So we'll bring in another piece that we've die cut. Just die cut that onto a little border, and we're just going to pop some of our tape pen onto there just to give us our instant grab onto the bodies there. And then we'll just go in with our tacky glue just onto those tendrils there, just to give us that nice stick onto all these areas. Then we'll drop shadow our black underneath. It'll really pop, especially against that lovely yellow or sort of corally colour that we've got on the inside. It will make a massive difference to our box. So going in, just dotting our tacky glue over some of the areas there, and then that will be enough to make sure that that's fully adhered onto our piece underneath.
Feel like if you're someone who struggles with drop shadows, you've had quite a few demonstrations in this show, so hopefully
Absolutely.
it's going to help you on your way.
I'm hoping so. Any questions about them, get them in. But I think one of the things we get asked the most is sort of where you position your drop shadow. I always go slightly towards the right-hand side, usually slightly beneath, but that's personal preference. It's totally up to you. Whatever sort of looks best to your eyes is good to go. So we'll just pop that onto there, give that a few seconds just for that to grab, and then we'll just turn it over. And I've got a piece of acetate that's cut a little bit larger than the aperture. So all we're going to go ahead and do is take our regular tape pen, our solid tape pen, and that's just going to go around the edges of that aperture, because of course your tape pen will work perfectly onto your acetate as well as your regular cardstocks. So we'll just give that a border of our tape all around there, and then we'll just grab our dotty just to make sure that our butterflies are still nicely adhered to that acetate. So we're just going with our dotty onto all those delicate areas, just showing how you can use your two tape pens together in the project as well. So you're using your dotty for those delicate areas, and you're using your regular tape pen for those more solid areas. And then we'll just place our acetate onto the reverse, give it a nice burnish. So you're going to allow that glue to activate, and we've got our acetate behind. Then we'll bring in some of our mats and layers. So I've taken that same lovely paper, this time using the bee side, and we've mat and layered onto black, really nice thin 1/8 of an inch borders of our black, and these are just going to stick around that frame. So I've gutted the centre, so of course we can still see that lovely butterfly design in the middle. And we'll pop that around the aperture, just like so. And just line that up. Once you're happy, burnish it down, but you do have just a few moments to manoeuvre that into position. So there we go. And then we've got exactly the same sort of thing for all of our 4 sides. So we'll just go ahead and stick those onto the sides of our box lid.
Yeah, about 5 or so minutes away from Essentials Corner. We'll rattle through your questions. We've got a minimum of 10, and we'll do as many as we can in the final sort of, I guess it would be 15 minutes or so, wouldn't it, really?
Yeah.
That's been a fun show, this, hasn't it?
Yeah, do you know what?
sounds so surprised, producer Johnny.
Johnny's like, blimey, with Lily and Ben, it's been quite a fun show. It shocked me as that.
It's been a good show, this. Been a good show.
Yeah, well, we'll do another show tomorrow. Won't be a beautiful beginnings, but we'll do something else. Craft along.
Yeah, we'll do a craft along tomorrow, won't we?
Yeah, with the unicorns, maybe?
Yeah, I like unicorns. Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, it's nice tomorrow, actually, because we've got Leanne's back in the house.
She is.
She's got her own cartload tomorrow. And then, yeah, Lily, you're here as well. So that's
Double L's. Lily and Leanne, the two L's.
Yeah.
Both here. Absolutely. Now, before we start to stick this together, we have got a couple of sentiments here. So these are from, let me rack my brains, A Year of Craft number 6. So just a couple of sentiments. I wanted a couple so it's sort of balanced between the top and the bottom here. So we've got birthday greetings, and we have got wishing you the best year yet. So that's going to go onto that bottom section. Then all we need to do, keeping it nice and simple for this, not overcomplicating it, not going really to town in terms of colouring, just keeping it nice and clean and simple. We'll bring in our tape pen onto our 4 corners, exactly the same as we did when we were building our box base. So it's the same method for building your lid as your base. And all you're going to do is just going to fold those tabs behind that box side there. We're going to do exactly the same in all 4 corners, and with it being a tape pen, anything like your tapes, your dry adhesives, you're going to make sure that you give it a little bit of a burnish. That's just going to warm up the glue and make sure that it adheres nicely onto your cardstock. Just go around, final one onto there. Make sure we've burnished all of those score lines around the sides, and then all that's left to do is bring in our box base.
Perfect.
There you go. Fits absolutely perfectly because you've got that inbuilt box making technology using that Ultimate Pro. It fits together perfectly. So a fusion of your Ultimate Pro and those beautiful edgeable style dies as part of that butterfly collection, you can make super pretty boxes just like this.
I've loved that today. Some fantastic demos, some great shows, and that is the kind of thing that you can do with your Ultimate Pro. Comes with a free boxer board, your dotty tape pen, and of course your A3 Centura Pearl cardstock as well. $31.99, $55.96 is the price. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be over in Essentials Corner. 10 questions to tackle. There may be more. If you want to get your question answered, get it in now, because we'll do them in the order that they come through. So quick as you can, and we'll meet you over in Essentials Corner in about 4 or 5 minutes time.
My favourite part is the interaction we can have with the lovely presenters.
The laughter and the giggles and the dressing up and the jokes.
Really fun and really good, and sometimes the only laugh you will get when you're not feeling well.
There's a personal connection with the presenters and the demonstrators.
The inspiration and clear instruction is patiently presented.
I love everyone that I have come to know on Crafters TV.
Well, we got two comedians, Dan and Craig. They're not comedians really, they're brilliant.
Presenters are great. Demonstrators are great.
Number one is the enjoyment I get from watching Ben and all of the demonstrators making the projects.
You are all so down to earth and genuine people, always willing to share and help.
Personal connection with everyone that's involved in Crafters TV.
For me, they have become my friend, creating a personal connection and making you feel part of a crafting family.
And get me a chuckle. It just feels like you're right there in my living room.
Hi everyone, challenge accepted. Checking in to let everybody know what Crafter's Companion means to me, and I thought I'd take a page out of Ben's book and do a parody of his parody. Apologies in advance for the lack of a singing voice. There once was a lass who was very crafty, and she tuned every day into CTV. Learning was fun, how could this be? Oh, crafty lass, craft along. Soon may the crafty lass come to fill her basket with showstopper fun. Each day when her chatting was done, she might do a craft along. She set her alarm for 4 a.m. to check out the new daily bargain. Monday through Friday she'll do it again. Oh, crafty lass, craft along. Soon may the crafty lass come to fill her basket with showstopper fun. Each day when her chatting was done, she might do a craft along. Sarah, Ben, and the Double Debbies, Leanne, Sheena, and the Hottie Scotty. You'll find them all on CTV. Oh, crafty lass, craft along. Soon may the crafty lass come to fill her basket with showstopper fun. Each day when her chatting was done, she might do a craft along. When I tell you the tale of CTV, it's guaranteed fun for you and me. Programs for everyone to see. Oh, crafty lass, craft along. Soon may the crafty lass come to fill her basket with showstopper fun. Each day when her chatting was done, she might do a craft along. I love you, CTV. Thank you.
Tea first, and then from there it'll be meetings, and there could be commercial meetings, there could be creative meetings, I could be supporting one of my team. I also manage a large team, so it could be one-to-ones with those. Every day is different.
Getting early on the morning to work, set up all my cameras, all my TV monitors, make sure all the lights are on. After the last show, we'll need to make sure everything's switched off, ready for the next day. Then I get to go home, just watch some TV, watch some movies or something when I'm making some food, and then go to sleep.
When I'm working, it's quite busy because I have to get up really early to come into work if I'm going to be travelling from London. But otherwise, I'm quite lazy. I spend a lot of time in bed before I get up in the morning.
Missed your favourite Crafters TV shows this week? Feel like you've missed out on the best crafting deals? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Join us for Second Chance Sunday, your ultimate catch-up on the top 10 deals, demos and must-see moments from the past week. From incredible discounts to inspiring crafting, this is your second chance to grab the best of the best. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Tune in to Second Chance Sunday, only on Crafters TV. Because every crafter deserves a second chance.
Cut there.
You do know this isn't a real door, don't you? Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being with us today. It's been a fun day, isn't it? I feel like we've had the peaks and the troughs. We've had the crafty whirlwind, we've had the launch, it's been like a million miles an hour, and then we've just had a very nice educational, inspirational, beautiful beginnings, and we get to finish off with a nice sit down on the couch.
You've just called me the trough.
Huh?
You just called me the trough, so I was the peak, now we're in the
No,
trough.
we've had peaks and troughs, I've said. I didn't call you a trough.
Wow.
We've had peaks, we've had troughs.
You implied that we saw it was a peak and now we've gone downhill with all the way bottom
No.
trough.
We've had peaks and troughs. Okay, maybe that's the best way to describe it.
No, it probably wasn't, no, yeah.
We've had... Well, I just said we've had a really educational, inspirational show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So she doesn't listen to the nice things. This is just
Well,
picks
no,
little
I just...
Bits out. We've had... Let me... It's been like a roller coaster then. We've had the... And then we've had the they've had the is that better?
I'll give you that. Yeah,
Okay.
there's definitely been a lot of
We've had the nice
breathe out. All right, I'll give you that. You've redeemed yourself. You can have that.
Questions. We've got tons of questions.
Come on.
Can I ask a question, says Hilary? What are the launches at the weekend, just in case I need to send Holly out to work?
Well, I'm here Saturday, which I'm super excited about. We've got not just one, we've got 2 launches. So first up, probably my most favourite, I'm very excited about this one. It's the Sentiment Balloon Dies. They are absolutely gorgeous. And not just those, they do launch with a paper pad as well, which coordinates absolutely perfectly. Then, as if that wasn't enough in itself, we've also got our brand new adhesive kit launch. All the tapes, all the adhesives you need in one box. And something I've been asking for blimey me, donkeys. I've been asking for an adhesive eraser. It's in the kit. You need to tune in on Saturday. It's going to be an absolute corker, and we've got a craft along. Lots to pack in, so I hope to see you there.
What do you do, says Tammy, with all of the finished projects?
Oh, that we make on shows, I'm presuming. Yeah, they tend to go as samples in our sample library. So you might have seen me make something today. Might pop up on a show next week. We save all those samples. They do not go to waste. Don't you worry.
There are certain people on the channel, and you'll have seen, I think it was yesterday, who make things for particular occasions and then take them home to give away.
It's a good idea. Debbie Fisher, we're looking at you. It's crafty, it's sneaky, we like it.
Yeah. But it's a perk of the job though, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, why not? I mean, she's showing you guys at home how to create it. Then she gets to take it home. You don't have to leave them here, but yeah, I like it. It's a good idea. I might have to do that myself, Debbie.
Yeah. Cindy Conley says, any tips to cut through acetate? She says, I've tried as many shims as the machine will allow, but it just dents the acetate. So how do we get a perfect cut with that then?
Good question. Something we get asked tons and tons. And the issue with acetate is not the fact that it's particularly thick, because we can cut through our 310 GSM Centura Pearl without a problem. The problem with acetate is the fact that it's got no fibres, because it's not a cardstock. Cardstock's made of fibres. So with acetate not having fibres, the die can sometimes struggle to sort of crunch through that material. My top tip for acetate would be get a piece of copy paper, just thin paper. It doesn't have to be any fancy cardstock. Pop it between the die and the acetate. So you have your die with its blade facing your paper and then your acetate. Because you've got the fibres within the paper, it should help it crunch through the acetate. But don't forget with acetate, it's not going to cut through a really intricate die. Your nesting die, your basic shapes will be fine. But pop your piece of copy paper into there and you should be good to go.
And is that the same with manual machines as well, cutting acetate?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we always say you're going to get the best pressure. Our Gemini 2, unrivaled pressure. That's going to give you the best cut through anything. But yeah, if you've got your manual machines, size permitting, give it a go.
Susie says, say that you need to make a birthday card, and I think this is you particularly, for a friend. Where do you start? Where do you get your inspiration?
Oh, gosh, that's a tough one. One of the main sources for inspiration for me, I tend to be inspired by the products themselves. So, say I've got a friend that loves ladybirds, take that as an example.
Yeah.
I'd have a look at my Flora and Fauna collection, have a little look around, maybe just start by doing a little bit of die cutting. So die cut maybe the wreath, the leaf, see how they sort of play together. Just using some of your scrap cardstock to start to look at how those dies are going to play with each other and just take it from there. But of course, Crafters TV, you should be getting all your inspiration from us guys. But have a look, we have our blog on the website as well, lots of inspiration on there, our Facebook pages, our Instagrams as well. So there's lots and lots of places to get your inspiration. But for me, I'm just inspired by the products. I love to look through the products, see how things are going to mix and match and just take it from there, really.
And do you kind of then think about like the colours come in like quite quickly, like the kind of colours that you might use?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if I'm thinking about making for someone in particular, maybe your best friend loves pink, that I'm probably going to use a pink colour scheme. But the fact that you tend to, with your collections like your Nature's Garden, like your Star of Six, you tend to have your paper pad with the matching cardstock. That makes it so much easier. But if not, if you're using perhaps a collection of dies that didn't come with a paper pad, maybe just go with one of your other collections, bring in the paper pad, bring in your cardstock, and it'll work together beautifully as well.
A question from the farm in PA from LDD, who says, and we were chatting about these earlier on, using your handmade papers yesterday, and I had trouble finding the best glue and also trying to cut a sheet with your small guillotine. Any ideas on either of those?
Glue, I'd say go for your tacky glue.
Right.
Treat it a little bit like a coated cardstock. Your tacky glue is going to be the perfect one to go for. I have also used my red liner tape on it as well, especially if I'm making 3D products. I've made a gift bag with them before, so you can use your red liner tape as well. And in terms of your guillotine, I didn't struggle with my guillotine. Make sure your guillotine is nice and sharp, so it does feel like it might be a little bit blunt. Cut some of your aluminium foil.
Oh, good idea.
That helps to sharpen up your trimmer, but you should be all right if you are using something like either a guillotine, a craft knife, a pair of scissors, or even some of your basic nesting shapes as well. It should work a treat.
Also, from LDD, says, your papers are all stunningly beautiful. How are they designed? Is there an individual or is there a team which designs the paper?
I'm not involved in it myself, but it is a full team. Got a fantastic product development team working alongside our designers. Leanne sort of briefs out everything. Our fantastic designers go away, design it, and then our product development team tests it. It goes back to Leanne, she checks it, she approves it. If we're happy with it, we go forward. But there's lots of products that will never ever see the light of day because, quite frankly, they're not good enough. So you know, when it comes to you guys, when it's in your hands, when it comes to TV, you know that it's been rigorously tested, it's been designed to within an inch of its life, and we're happy to put it out into the universe for you guys at home to get crafting with.
It's got to be top notch though, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Rigorous testing.
No riff-raff in here.
No.
No. We're talking about the products, obviously.
If, says Stephanie Theodos, you put a foil transfer on acetate, can you then shape it into 3D?
Absolutely, yeah. Our fantastic foil transfers are very much flexible. It's not a case of you sort of stick it to something and it becomes rigid or tough. So if you're going to pop it onto perhaps even an acetate dome card, you can absolutely start to shape that acetate afterwards. It's not going to crack off. They are fabulous, our foil transfers. I know Sarah absolutely loves them.
Yeah. And they will pretty much take to most surfaces, won't they?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've not found anything. You can pop them onto, of course, your cardstock, your acetate. It could be a ceramic vase. It could be onto a glass vase. It could be onto a glass. Obviously, you're not going to be popping that into the dishwasher, but you can have it for a decorative purpose. So both porous and non-porous are going to work an absolute treat.
A couple of questions left. A couple of shout-outs as well. Faye says, my order from this morning is already shipped and at Export Customs. Kudos to the warehouse team.
Thank you, warehouse.
And Janice Watson says, big shout out to the amazing warehouse team. The order I placed at lunchtime today has been shipped. That is amazing service. Thank you, CC.
That is the same day.
Yeah.
Wow. Pat on the back for warehouse there.
Well done, warehouse.
Good job.
Karen says, I have a foil pack with letters in. Will you bring any back, please?
Oh, I don't know. I'm wondering which one that is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which one that's from.
Oh, was there some in Floral Elegance? Might have been some letters in there.
That might be a good shout, actually.
Possibly. I'm not sure. Watch this space.
It's a Leanne question maybe for tomorrow, that,
yeah,
isn't it?
save it for tomorrow. She is. Save it for tomorrow. And she'll know. She has all the answers.
Jennifer, I feel like we've touched on your question, which I've just seen. How do I cut acetate with a die? But it's kind of what you said a few moments ago, isn't it?
Absolutely. Pop that piece of your thin copy of paper between the acetate and the die, and you should be good to go.
And final question for this evening from Stephanie, who says, which do you drop, Lily, the top or the bottom in a drop shadow?
Good question.
Yeah.
It can be either. Personally, I always drop the bottom. So you've got like your lower layer slightly further down than your top layer, but it's up to you really. If you want it to be the left, if you want it to be towards the right, your choice, your call, your project.
We're done with all the questions. Absolutely.
I wanted more.
You wanted more?
It's that quick fire. More. You want more?
More. Thank you, Lily, says Stephanie. Thank you for all of your questions as well.
Yeah, thank you all.
When are you back in tomorrow, aren't you?
I'm back in tomorrow, yeah. Craft along at 2 o'clock. It is with the majestic unicorn. We're going to be doing some colouring. So if you want to learn how to create ombres using your tri-blend brush pens, you need to tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Can I have a go?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
It's an hour, isn't it?
It's an hour. Yes, we're going to have to do a bit of speedy colouring.
I'll have a go.
But the focus of the project is the colouring, so we should be all right time-wise. I want you involved. It's going to be good.
Right. Well, even if I don't make the project, I'll do some colouring. I'm big on colouring at the minute.
Absolutely. Get your tri-blend brush pens out. We might move up from an intermediate to an advanced tomorrow. Who knows? Might get your certificate.
Why?
I'll write you one out. My best handwriting. Yeah. Congratulations, Ben Moseby. You have progressed from intermediate to advanced.
Yeah.
Signed, Lily Fletcher.
Can I get a little badge? You know when you used to get your swimming badges?
Yeah.
Just sew it onto
yeah.
my waistcoat.
Yeah, and you have all your certificates in a certificate folder, all your plastic wallets. Yeah, get that started.
So Lily's back in the middle show tomorrow for the craft vlog. We've got Leanne here as well. It's going to be amazing tomorrow. So Lily for the craft vlog, Leanne for the big cartload show. Goodness knows what she's got up her sleeve tomorrow. She's been given free rein, hasn't she?
Blimey, mate. Could be anything.
Yeah.
Absolute chaos. Tune in. Be fun.
It'll be fun. Thank you for all your lovely comments. Karen says thank you for a great show. And thank you, Superstar Susie, who says she's back for Friday Night Live. Thank you to Rachel today and Jan. Thank you to Lily. Thank you to Sarah. Thank you to Tracy. Thank you to Jamie. And thank you to Johnny. I'll be back with you for the full 3 shows tomorrow. But whatever you're doing, have a brilliant Wednesday, rest of your Wednesday, and don't forget, if you want that Flora and Fauna, get it checked out. I think we've got about 20 of those showstoppers remaining, so quick as you can, and we'll all see you here tomorrow for another fantastic day. Until then, bye for now.
Bye.